Welcome back to Offended and Unfriended, episode 15.
Oh, shiznit.
Oh, I thought this was on a grind or some shit.
Nah, man.
I was like, gee, where are we going?
Black people get ashy. He didn't even let me put my lotion on, man. We get ashy on them.
Bill Burr explained it to everyone. I think they all know.
Yeah, man. Black people get ashy. Yo, by the way,
Gene just pulled out some little lip balm.
no, this is
What are you nuts?
a special edition order for me, Olivia Sy Organics. I also get elderberry from them, and I also get sea moss because times are serious now.
Yo.
And I'm serious about ash. Shit, yo,
It's dry outside.
by the way, I asked someone the other day, and
I don't know anything about lotion. I mean, I lotion. I like cocoa butter.
No, but I gotta tell
I
you
have
something.
nice elbows.
Are you ready for
I will
this?
say this.
1,400 SATs, 2 different colleges, and I asked someone the other day, do white people get ashy? And everyone just stopped and looked at me, and I'm like,
You racist motherfucker. Is that what they said?
I don't know what they were thinking, but they all kind of gave me that look. And then there was like one other black person there, they're like, and she goes, and so it was a very quiet pause. Then she goes, yeah, we get dry. And then the other girl looks at me, she goes, that's what they call it, dry, not ashy. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Didn't we watch the Bill Burr skit about this?
I don't remember.
I think we did, didn't we?
I don't remember, but I'm like,
they call it
dry. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
Is that what it is? That is what they say, right?
We did. We call it dry. We call it dry and we call it itchy.
Yeah, well, now we got ashy.
Yeah.
Right.
Itchy.
I mean, I guess, that's
Bro.
crazy actually, because that's what it is. Like everyone gets dry skin.
Yeah.
It just appears on you more because you're darker.
Yeah.
Oh, what did
Is
Burr
that
say?
really where?
That's
is
really-
that?
Yeah.
Yo, that's. I feel like
Burr said
I
it,
feel
he
like an
goes-
idiot right now.
That's what I felt like, but I'm like,
Burr said it. He goes, when you're white, you don't see it. When you're black, it looks like you leaned up against a chalkboard.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you did see it.
That's funny.
But he's got a point. Like
Yeah.
it's visible on dark skin.
I've been a cocoa butter guy my whole life, and
I'm in love
shouts
with
out
the
shouts out to
cocoa.
my Italians, right?
Cocoa.
I just found, and I use, and I love now, olive tree oil.
Go
Yes.
on.
Fucking outrageous.
that's
It
good.
smells fantastic. It feels great. I feel like I don't have to put as much on as, and I still love my cocoa butter.
Italians are all in on olives, bro. You know that.
But bro, the olive tree oil that's my lotion right now.
Big fucking bathing
Not looking
it.
at these. Sorry, I'm late. By the way, guys. Sorry.
So someone dipped the bread.
Hard times.
Someone
Hard
dipped
times.
the bread and it was like, fuck it, let me rub some on me.
Probably.
Right.
You think about coconut oil.
I'll bring you some of it. It's fantastic.
People think about coconut oil. People take a shot of it. They'll throw it in their coffee. They'll rinse their hair with it. They'll fucking wash their car with it. They'll brush their teeth with it. It's fucking
Mika was in the
coconut
hospital
oil.
last week, right? And she had to get an EEG because she has epilepsy, right? EEGs, they put
Yes.
shit all over your head to monitor your brain waves.
Right.
But the glue and the goop that they put to put the leads on, shit's fucking terrible. It's so hard to get out of her hair. And what we use is fucking coconut oil. We'll just grab a bunch of coconut oil in our hands and we
Start rubbing.
and just start rubbing it through, and it's the best way to get the goop out, and then our hair is nice and shiny.
oil. Gilligan
Smooth.
Island, that's what I'm thinking right now. Gilligan's Island.
Cocoa oil?
Yeah, they were ahead of
Coconut oil?
time. There was coconuts all the time, man. I'm the professor.
You used to cook with it on the regular.
Yes, that's actually good to cook with.
I did, and then I found there was this one
You
I
found
had.
out quick that it doesn't reach temperatures high enough to actually fry stuff?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I had the first coconut oil I bought didn't really have a coconut flavor to it. I guess it was like super compressed or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the terms are.
Was it made in China?
No. And then I was at Costco. I was like, giant tub for like $4. I'm getting that, and it just tasted like coconut.
Yeah,
Which is
I
not
remember
bad.
that one.
But when you cook your eggs with it, I don't like coconut in my eggs.
Coconut eggs?
Fucking
Cocoa
gross.
eggs?
All right.
It's disgusting.
Shouts out to my Jamaicans out there.
Yes.
For coconuts?
Bro, coconut rice.
Yes.
This is...
That sounds good.
It's a game changer, and
Yeah,
I
it
knew
is.
it. I'm bringing this up because I
always had
just...
it.
I
Coconut with
felt-
shrimp?
Yes.
Come on.
Are you guys
I
late?
felt like you haven't done this yet. From now on, if you cook rice,
Yeah, you had
use coconut milk
Yeah.
in place of it.
In place of what?
In place of your water.
Really? You don't know
JP,
about
it's a
this?
game changer. I knew it.
What?
I knew it.
Bro.
He's too Caucasian. He's Italian. They
Fucking
don't know
cooking
anything about
lumps.
coconut milk.
Bro, I'm making meals over
All right,
here.
listen. You want to
I'm
do it right?
eating steaks.
I thought that.
You could do that, and then
I
but
thought-
then make some
Yeah.
coconut rice and throw some pigeon peas in
I
there.
thought-
It'll change your life.
I thought risotto was you guys trying to make our rice.
Ah, who the fuck knows? Oh, The risotto's pastino. What are you
that's it.
talking about?
That's good.
I'm like, look, they're trying to make coconut rice
Trying to
again.
make coconut rice. Yo, that's funny.
There's no coconut in our shit.
I
You
know.
nuts?
That's
Could
funny.
be olive rice.
But no,
the best.
seriously. Use coconut milk with your rice and throw some pigeon peas in there.
You know what the trick to eggs are?
What?
Use the bacon grease to cook.
Oh, God.
Everyone wants to know, why does it taste so good in a New York deli?
That's it. Of
There you
course.
go. It's-
Uncle Huge. There's Uncle Huge
it.
down south. Uncle Huge lives in North Carolina now, right? But of course, he's from New York. So whenever we're down there, Sunday breakfast is always the best because he cooks the bacon on the barbecue, but he has a sterno tray collecting all the grease.
I hope so. That's
Right?
Travis the other way.
He chops up jalapenos and throws it in the bacon grease, right? So now the jalapenos are just floating around in this grease. Cracks and he cooks all the eggs in there,
Yeah, of course.
right? Ba, 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 ba. It's the best sandwich.
Yeah.
Like one, and then
Because he's using
if you want to get crazy,
bacon grease.
he cooks up some scrapple.
Yeah, no, you can get
think
crazy
you
with
get
that
an
shit.
idea. I may do
Scrapple, listen, it's
Yeah,
called
man.
Scrapple.
I may do a brunch.
Oh,
for,
liver
like-
mush. No, I'm sorry. Down in North Carolina, it was liver
I
mush
think
that
I'm
we
gonna
were
do a
eating.
brunch party with deli style sandwiches.
Yo,
Right? That looks like a
who doesn't like a bacon, egg, and cheese?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you don't eat pork.
I don't, but I'll do a turkey bacon. I know there's no bacon in a turkey.
Yeah,
but-
whatever.
I'll eat
that's
turkey.
fine.
I'll eat turkey sausage. I don't like turkey bacon.
You do
I'll eat turkey sausage. I like turkey sausage.
Bro, turkey, cold cut turkey.
So you guys,
Warm up, cook up your cold cut turkey on the same skillet
The
as your
idea
eggs.
is using the grease.
Right, okay, but whatever. It still
not gonna use
produces.
the grease.
It still produces
no,
some
that's-
moisture.
That's why I have to use turkey bacon.
It still produces some moisture,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
use
yeah.
some butter. So there you go. You got a little turkey juice and your butter.
I can
You
get
got
in
your
on that.
grease.
We could have a turkey Birkin.
Crack
turkey
your egg in
Birkin.
there, bro.
So
Throw a
you're
little
saying
feta
if I do a
cheese. How you
brunch party
doing?
with deli style sandwiches, this will be.
You gotta have a turkey bacon
I'd be there.
section. It's gotta be labeled
I'm
though.
down.
Motherfuckers don't want
I'm
that.
at a brunch party. That's it.
It's gotta be labeled. This is the turkey bacon
You better
section.
get it in before old President Joe over there fucking shuts us down again.
Nah, chill. My birthday's coming up. I got to do a big time brunch.
Oh yeah, I mean, I only got to miss a fucking cruise for my 40th to Bermuda.
Yeah.
And you're worried about your birthday.
Your
Fuck your
brunch.
birthday, son.
Motherfucker, you want a
It's your
triangle?
birthday
You want a
brunch.
triangle? Oh,
Yeah.
here's your triangle, Bermuda.
Yeah. That's the only triangle I got, and I didn't even get that.
Kanye!
I'm pissed. I was excited for his cruise.
Why, you gonna raid the house?
I want to go.
Let's do it.
I told Kay, I was like, you let me know. Like, if you got, I'm crashing.
I'll go too.
I'm not even gonna tell you guys I'm going.
I'm cruise crashing.
I'm just gonna. Hey, oh, you guys are on this boat too. This is crazy.
I would love to see Jesse after like fifth day of
Daiquiris for
just
everyone.
just drunk. He's
Just miserable.
miserable out of his face. Where's he gonna get
Fucking
weed?
boat. No one's got weed on this boat.
Where are you going?
I'm crashing the cruise. I'm gonna just walk around to every single
Bermuda.
person. Hi, I'm with a special reporting. Were there black people in the Titanic?
No, because they were smart.
I'm just gonna walk around. I'm just walking around. People are like, "Who is this
Yeah,
guy?"
you're phone around on a microphone.
Are you like? Have you never been on a cruise?
No.
You would never go on a
1
cruise.
foot black people rule 105. 1 foot on land at all times, except if I'm flying.
That's 105. I feel like that's way sooner than 105.
No,
You know that
101
you
is,
live on an island.
Oh, here we go. This whole Long Island thing, and I live in the middle of it. I'm not going anywhere near the water.
Well, I'm
got a
just
point.
saying, you got water on all sides. What happens if you got to be able to get out?
We fly the fuck out. Like
It's Gene, man. Motherfuckers
I'll fly anything.
That's right. Gene is a frequent flyer.
Yes, I'll fly
Yes,
out.
he
Right?
actually gains points and can actually use them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
He's one of those people, and he's not a business guy. He just goes for fun.
I know.
Where are you going this week, G? Puerto Rico for 2 days.
I'm hearing
okay.
that. Listen, I'm hearing rumors they're gonna lock down New York City December 1st. I heard it's serious.
I'll be honest. I'm
And
surprised
out.
that they didn't do this before New Year's
too.
Eve. I mean, Thanksgiving Eve.
I would have. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not pro
Who's
lock.
going out till 10?
No, but listen, I'm not pro lockdown.
Yo, fair point.
I'm not pro lockdown, but if you are going to try to curtail a spread, this week coming up involves the busiest drinking day of the
It's
year.
the biggest. I get it. I
More
get
people travel from other places to meet other family members, and then
That's not gonna stop.
Followed by Black Friday. Give me the fucking PlayStation, Grandma. So,
Which they ain't getting.
so
Sorry, Grandma, you ain't getting it.
If you're talking about a week where there's gonna be multiple interactions and people, I would have
see
shut
it.
it down.
I see it.
All right,
but
you guys getting
know
the
what?
PlayStation?
Nah, I don't need that
Yeah,
shit.
I would. No, I'm getting
You're
an
not-
Xbox.
You're not gonna get that.
I
You're not a
spent
PlayStation
so much
guy.
money on Xbox games,
Yeah.
and it's all backwards compatible. I'm good. I'm getting Xbox. And then if I got some money, I'll get a PlayStation because they're probably going to have Final Fantasy. I'm a nerd. I don't have the time.
I never. Nah.
I'm gonna
You
get
don't
a
play
PS.
games?
I'm getting a PS.
I don't play games anymore. I
play
can't
video
get
games?
back into it. Once you're out, you can't go back in.
I'm a PlayStation
bullshit.
guy. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna get it right now. It's not gonna be enough.
Thing's gigantic too. It'll be half your fucking living room.
JP,
Thing's like this fucking
Is
big.
it?
Yeah, it's huge.
if
Yeah, I'll wait until they make it this big.
You think I'm gonna play a video game so some 12-year-old could talk smack to me on a fucking headset? I will go like a digital
I don't
virus.
play live.
I will go right through that shit, come out the other side of his house,
Bro,
and strangle the fuck out of him. Ain't no 12-year-old gonna tell me to kiss his ass.
Kiss his ass, bro. And chances are, it's gonna be some dude from Germany. He's gonna call you every racial slur that is. You probably ones you don't even know.
Flyven Booben.
You're gonna be like, "What the fuck did you just call me?"
I will fly. I will go right through that wire, just like the movies. Come right.
I am a frequent flyer, sir.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm gonna take that as disrespect. That's all you're gonna say.
Yeah, basically.
Oh man,
Oh,
I play an online game almost every night. Now.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's on my phone. Mobile Legends, bang bang.
Dude, I was ready
It's
to
the
fight.
greatest.
Words with Friends
Bro,
made me physical.
Yo, they got this new character that came out, Brody. I'm already ranked in New York. All right, yeah. So fuck around. Anyone on Mobile Legends, come see me.
Nah, dude.
OogeeLee. OogeeLee on everything.
Speaking of
That's me.
OogeeLee,
Yeah, let's
little
talk
segue,
about it.
huh? A little OogeeLee and Wave
That was,
Rider, aka me.
Let's talk about it, bro.
The show can
I feel great. I feel
Yeah,
great about it.
been a good weekend.
Me and JP released our album this week.
Is
This weekend.
fire!
That's right.
You could check it out on all streaming platforms or support us and purchase it on
iTunes.
any platform: iTunes, Google Play,
Something.
Amazon. You know,
I don't fucking know. I haven't purchased.
wherever you
I
listen
haven't
to
purchased
music.
a single song in a while. Actually,
Nice.
I stream.
Yeah, no, me too. I hear you.
I don't mind paying.
I don't mind either. I like it because I
no,
get to
you just
listen
do
to
the
stuff.
thing.
But
Yeah.
I pay $9.99 a month and I get unlimited whatever.
Stream.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called?
So
I feel like it was like a blank credit card for $9.99.
I felt great because this morning I woke up and I always set myself like goals, and I know like in the band, like with Oogie, I used to drive these guys crazy with it. Because again, like I would set myself like little goals, you know what I mean? Of mile marks of where I
wanna
believe
be.
is successful. You know what I mean?
A realistic goal.
A realistic goal.
Isn't that like,
yeah.
Isn't that
you
like
know?
rule number one of accomplishing things?
Of course.
Okay.
So just judging off of what Oogie's, just let's say Spotify alone, judging off of what Oogie Wawa's Spotify numbers were when we released a new song, I was like, okay, realistically,
We had one that blew up though.
if we cut that, but I'm saying like for us, right? Realistically, if we cut that, let's say we cut it in half and then half again, we cut a quarter of it. Just because I'm one guy, you're one guy of the right?
We're two guys.
We're two guys. So,
No fries.
but whatever. Long story short, what I'm saying is,
Two guys-
I
two
set
guys, no
myself,
fries.
I set a goal for the first weekend of I wanted to hit 10,000 streams on Spotify, and we did. We hit that and then some.
Yeah,
we
you got 12
just
and change.
just under 13.
Yeah.
When I checked this morning. So shouts out to everyone who checked it out.
That's right.
And let us know how you how you like it.
How do you feel?
How you feel?
A round of applause.
I always like to know like what's everyone's favorite song? Like what's the song that stands out the most? And I don't know. I like educating myself and I like growing. So
Gene's got one.
all feedback.
addiction- Addiction's the one. I'm here to tell you, addiction's the one. Listen to it twice. Addiction's the one.
Twice,
No,
three
you know
times,
what? No.
400,
No, but
maybe
listen.
5,000 times.
No, but it's true. Listen, when you,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell people, okay, how to listen to an album because no one's ever really explained this to people. You grab an album.
I'm listening.
What I suggest to people is make it when. A long drive. I always tell people a long drive. And the reason why is because you're undistracted. Because at home, even if you think, I'm going to sit down and listen to this album, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you got the TV in the background, someone's talking to you. A drive is a perfect time to listen to the first album. But what I always tell people is don't put pressure on yourself to do anything. Just listen to it. And then I always tell people you need a second listen. Because now I'm listening for bars, lyrics,
Content.
A million people do that. That's too million listeners right there. Done.
Another thing with the beats and things like that. And then on the third listen, I'm like paying attention. Like, what are they trying to do? The order of the songs, like it all comes down
Which
to me.
Jesse did. He started talking to me about it. I'm gonna be honest. I was like,
he never cared. JP never cared. He was like, yeah, whatever you think.
What's the fourth song? Because I was like, what's going on here? Like, hold on. That one changed.
Like you were never there.
Yeah, I felt like that was
so it's like
that was like a downshift, right?
Yeah, so like the way that like
what just happened?
He
here?
had a tell him mentality.
The way of the flow was supposed to be. So like, all right, Killing Them With These Beats starts out the album, right?
Yes.
And the reason that we did that one first is because that originally was supposed to be an intro to the album.
To an Oogie Wawa album.
What is going to be the next Oogie Wawa album before JP left the group.
Right.
And I just stumbled in. It fell into the Dropbox, and I just started writing to it, and I was like, "Oh, I got something for this that I really like." And I don't know why. It was a different type of beat. So whatever. Since it was supposed to be an intro, we went with that track
maybe it wasn't
first.
that song. I think it was supposed to be originally. It was always supposed to be. It
was supposed to be an intro
to this album.
For some,
it was always going to be.
All right.
It was
For one of the
My bad.
albums.
I'm mixing songs up.
But whatever. I wanted to write to it, and then I guess one night, Michael was here, heard it, and was like, "Yo, that's dope. I want to jump on this," and wrote a verse. Then recorded it,
and then he
boom.
spoiled the surprise because he couldn't keep it in. Motherfucker.
Oh, to me?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
don't tell him. The next day he's like, so did you hear it? I'm like, bro.
Yeah. I was like, oh, word? Like he got down. And then, so then the second track, that actually, I was talking to my wife about this, and Melissa, I don't know
also
why.
Kayla, one of Kayla's favorites.
She always references Lady Gaga. And because
really,
Melissa used to love Gaga, like love, right?
She's Gaga for Gaga.
So she always used to say like her biggest songs are usually the second or third on her album. And I was like, really? I go, because traditionally it's usually like the fourth, the seventh.
Yeah.
You know, like those are usually like your big hits off of the albums. And then she started just pointing out all these other pop albums.
Top heavy.
That are very top heavy. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, I don't really know where second track fits in the whole mold of the album. So it's like the second is great. The second slot was great because it's the most uplifting song.
Yes.
You know?
Every day's a party, baby.
Yeah, just living my best life. You know what I mean? Like, so it's okay, like let's get into this. So then third came Fire is Fire, right? And now that is like the first sort of conceptual song, right? Where it's a love song.
You could take the first one, partying, having a good time, getting drunk, and then you bring her home. You court a young lady for the night.
You court a young. You could do that. Well, yeah.
Come on.
So, Fire is Fire was meant to be, you know, like that sex song, right? Yeah. It's something that like we like as Oogie never really did. I mean, like we did One Night Stand and
that was early.
But yeah, that was like way early in our career.
We went about it a little differently on One Night Stand.
I like conceptual type songs instead of just blanketed blah things, you know. So. When that beat was actually shouts out Larry Coleman at the start of quarantine came up with this riff, sent it to JP. JP created it into what it is, and
I made it my world.
Yeah, and the first time I heard it, I was like, I got the perfect person for it. This girl, Nikki Silva, she's in a local band called The Big Happy, which I like. You kind of knew who they were, right? Like at that point,
I very much knew who they were. Yeah, because I saw them a few times live.
Oh, all right. So, yeah. But I was just like, this girl is fire.
And now I work with her all the time.
Yeah,
and she brings people. Yeah,
she's
awesome.
A wonderful person to work with. Very professional. Super talented. You know, so whatever. I knew I wanted her on this song, and then she just took that hook and brought it to the next level.
Bro, that song. You know the original feel of vibe of that song was, right?
Yeah.
Larry wrote that after a friend, I think, had passed.
Yeah.
And he sent me this sad thing, and I created this sad world, and Justin's like, let's fuck to it.
Let's fuck to this song. That's exactly what I said. I go,
song.
Yo, this is exactly And I even said to him, I was like, I'm gonna break myself out of the box here. Like I kind of want to like put some auto tune on shit, and just play around with it. Like make a poppy sex song, you know what I'm saying? So then again, like order of the album here, right? So that's that song, and then that fourth song, Like You Never Were There, is the bad breakup song.
Yeah, it's a hard turn.
Yeah,
shit wasn't happy no more.
What happens after bad breakups?
What happens after bad breakups? You fall into those holes.
Right.
Yes.
Addiction.
Then that's where addiction came in.
Like you were never there.
You know?
Also, that came about. I had a new program that just came out, and I was like, all right, let's try it. And I just made this. I did this guitar part, and I just kept going, and all of a sudden I built a beat out of it. And it's this program called Luna by a company called Universal Audio. It was like, 'cause I was using Pro Tools. I'm tired of paying $30 a month for it. So this shit, these people
The Luna's
were
dope though.
These people were heavy Pro Tools users, so they switched. They made their own program, and they used all the same like button commands and shit. So it was like nothing learning it.
Okay.
I made this beat. I just posted it with a video on my Instagram, and that's when Johnny James, the Vocal Junkies, Johnny James and Michael were like, Johnny James was like, we need to write to this. I want to write a hook to this. I sent to them. Michael sang it, and that's how that came about. And then Jesse wrote to that.
I don't even know how I got involved in that one, because I think I was just here recording something else.
From that post, and I was like, oh, I was going to send this to Jesse, and then you were like, yep, let's do it. And that was
is
it.
that
It was
really
all,
what
it all happened in the post.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, hey, it's my favorite thing to do.
Then Addiction came, and Addiction was, I was fucking around, and I got an email like, oh, get this vocal pack for free, and I was like, all right, it's free. I like to take vocals and cut them up and put effects and use them almost as parts.
Right.
Because that's like, sound designing is a big thing in production, because if you don't sound design, your shit's gonna just sound like generic shit. So I was like, all right, and then there was this hook on it, and I was like, I want to use this hook. And I used the hook, and you would think the song was about, missing somebody, you're sad, but you're happy and not. And Jesse's like, let's talk about addiction. Let's get fucked up to this.
Well,
No, but
okay,
it
so
makes
what
sense,
happened?
though.
What happened with that?
There was a reason for it.
I was listening to it just as an instrumental with the hook embedded in there, right? JP had already put it all together, and I don't know, like obviously, like at first listen to the hook, it makes you think of a loss, right? Like someone, that you love, that you are happy with, that you were, and I was like,
but not happy with it. It's like it's happy.
It has like this.
Someone you miss.
Put like an eerie feel to the beat,
I did.
which is what triggered me to be like, because I was still at this point, I had lost one of my best friends from childhood to
rest in peace.
To an overdose, and growing up on Long Island, especially in Suffolk County, there's too many people that we know, that have
he's on a long list
and died.
There's a crisis. I agree.
But it was this one particular one that really tipped me, and I was still really angry at this point. I hadn't gotten over, over everything, and I was still pissed. Like, I've always been here for you. Like, why didn't I know this? Like, I would have been there for you. I would have helped you through anything, right? So, that's just, the feelings I had, and I was still pissed off and angry. And I don't know why. It's like I was driving and just listening to the hook, it felt like... Because, I remember asking myself, I don't know what that's like.
Being addicted.
I know I have an addictive personality, but that's why I don't.
Cigarettes was the worst addiction you had?
Yeah, I smoked cigarettes for a long time. I still smoke my Juul, but I don't drink. Really, it's not, again, I say this all the time, it's not a conscious thing. It's not because I was an alcoholic or anything. I like my mornings,
so dealt with a lot of drunk people as a bartender.
Yeah,
being on the road,
being on tour, being a bartender forever. It's like, I fucking hate drunks. Is that what I act like? I don't want to be like that anymore, But again, so I know that I have my shit tamed, and I don't understand how others can't, especially someone that I grew up with, who was literally a brother to me.
It was too real. It was like TV.
It was too real, and what it would be like, to see it through those eyes, through the eyes of addiction. If addiction could take a physical form, right? It's everyone says my demons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if you could make a physical form of that, what would it be like? You know what I mean? So that's why it's the whole, the first verse starts with, I've been with you from the start, the first beating of your heart. I've been with you, this addiction, this piece of you that is a part of you. I've been here, and I would pop up from time to time and help you through, and that's how, because for all of us, as young kids, whether you're from a broken home, divorced home, everyone's experienced some sort of issue in their life that like they just, you know, maybe call it weakness, call it coping, whatever the hell it is. You had something to get you through it, right? You know, whether it was sneaking out to the park and smoking a cigarette with your older friends, or, you know, playing football, or drawing, or writing music, like whatever it is, everyone had that. So, but that addiction still lives inside of all of us, and the choices that we make along those paths is what either fuels it and lets it grow and start to consume, or the other choice is it subsides it and pushes it down, and you know it doesn't grow in turn and take control of your life. So by the end of the song, it's like the most powerful part to me was, because again, this is where I was at when I wrote it, was and when you're gone, it's me that they're gonna remember.
Addiction.
Because because like at that time, it's like I was still so mad because all the good fun times that I had with one of my best friends was just completely clouded and gone, because all I could think about was that ending image.
But that's the anger.
Of where the addiction won, you know, and then I just see in my head like just that demon walking away laughing, you know, like another victim to me. And now it just lives on. I just gave myself chills, and it lives on now through other people and everyone else. The next one to pick up that needle and bang it in their arm, you know?
I definitely, when this is over, I got to make him listen to a Jay-Z record, because I'm sure you probably haven't even heard it. And it's very similar, which is how
Jay-Z.
You probably have heard it.
Jesse probably.
Really? Did you listen to American Gangster, that album?
Of course.
You just remind me with the whole story about, he has one track that's actually, now that you remind me, there's a song that's similar to that.
Which one? Because now I need to be I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you can listen to it later. You show me later. Yeah, all right.
You're gonna be like, oh shit, like wow, like, and it escapes your mind because it wasn't like that big of a hit.
Yeah.
But it kind of has the same feel and vibe to it too.
Yeah.
What comes after addiction? I'm the worst with this shit because I just hit play and I don't fucking listen.
I think it was These Girls.
Really? No.
No, it's not.
No.
These Girls is like 8 or something.
Oh, wasting my time.
Wasting my time. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Wasting my time and then These Girls, but wasting my time is I love that fucking song. And you know what's funny? On Apple Music, that was one of the stars. The star switched. It moved.
What do you mean?
It's the first 2 tracks. I think it's the most played. The top 3 most played.
Okay.
It's the star. The next, it moved down to These Girls.
Oh, yeah?
2.0.
Yep, that's me. Sorry, guys. I'm not on silent. You know, I gotta just see Mika.
Oh, yeah, no,
okay,
man. Do your thing.
Sorry. Yeah, so These Girls was my favorite.
That was like a throwaway in the beginning, remember?
Maybe for you.
Part.
This was a song that I was hell-bent. I wrote
I love that hook.
I wrote that whole song on my ukulele on the last Oogie tour at Dave House's place.
Dave House's house.
Dave House's house, yeah. This guy, shouts out Dave House. Awesome dude, man. Always took care of us. Lives down in Boca. You know, just a big fan of the reggae scene, and just really always took very good care of us. You know, me and all my guys and stuff forever.
Best moonshine ever.
He makes his own moonshine.
It's honestly the best moonshine I've ever had in my life.
But I remember I was like all bummed out, you know, because like just like that tour was not going good. Like, you know, like I felt already like there was all the problems that had already been there are like starting to fucking really eat away and corrode away. And it was like, oh man, we just got to finish out this summer. And at that time, actually what it was at that time, they announced the Cali Roots lineup. And we didn't get on it. Again. Even though it was like, what more do we have to do? We're literally, can you bring 100 people to every major market? Yes. You know, like we did that. We're good. Like we have our draw, and still it was just something like
you needed an inside plug.
That's all it was.
Yeah, like you know what it was like. I mean, we were also Oogie got dubbed as like the fucking party band. You know, because we were like when we broke into the reggae scene, we was still just like that bar band. You know, like we were a fucking hardcore. We were all bartenders. We would flip bottles. We were pouring shots in people's mouths. You know what I mean? Like,
that's correct.
We brought a party,
and that helped on Long Island though. Because a band like ours ain't gonna make it on Long Island.
No, of course not.
No, but the reason why we did, number one, because of and I was telling Gene before, your social standing and Chad's social standing. We knew a lot of people. So even though it was our friends coming to shows, then other people go, who the fuck are these people with all these people?
Yep.
Then we got legit fans.
Yep.
To the point of, you know, we'll play local places that wind up eventually just calling us, going, "Why don't we put in another show together?"
Yeah,
because
Or being like the only original band that plays in these,
the only one.
you know, the only one, because the only other people that can draw are cover bands. You
No,
know?
stop. I
Yeah,
can't.
don't get me
Bro,
started,
don't get,
but-
me,
Right,
don't get
me
us started.
about cover
But we
bands.
broke that mold.
This is all fuel that aided in the writing of this song, because I was literally sitting here looking at, you know, all these other guys in my band, who's arguing with who's fucking crying about this, who's doing drugs over there. And it was just like all of this shit just piled up. And it's like, we're not getting on this. The album is stalling. Like, what the fuck is going on? The van is broken down again. It's like, I'm just wasting my fucking time right now. And like,
Nice.
that's how I felt. And
Nice.
I thought you were saying these girls, so wasting my time.
wasting my
Here's what
time
we
is
saw.
what it was.
These girls
Yeah,
is
my
nice.
bad.
But these girls is what is
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, we know
direct
why these
correlation,
girls.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, I mean, and no,
It's called Yoko 2.0 for a reason.
a lot of people hit me up asking me like this weekend, like, yo, is this song about, a specific person? And it's like, no, like, it's not about any in particular person, but just like more of and it's not even just about the guys in my band with their relationships or my past relationships with toxic females. It's literally just about toxic females. And that Yoko line, like a real Yoko while we're out on tour, that's again not just directed at
No,
my
I went through it.
It's I mean, I can name countless. I won't just air people's dirty laundry
of
out,
course
but
not, but
countless bands.
I'll air mine
that,
out.
I don't know if you give it to me. You give me the names, I'll do it.
I'm saying countless bands out on the road who have been through that similar situation where their girlfriend is at home and she's giving them shit about being on the road or doing this. And like, it's like, yo, you knew what you were getting into when you got with me. I'm a musician. I'm a touring musician. I'm going to be out on the road for 200 days a year. I'm loyal to you. You be loyal to me and we have a good life. Like, that's it. So that's generally what that song is about. Toxic females.
Problem is that and it's a very common misconception that dudes are just down the road with chicks partying. It's like, nah, man, we're 5 smelly guys in a shitty van pulling up to a place as strangers, not looking our best, and people are just looking at us like we're some crazy fucking wandering hobos with instruments.
Oh my God.
Especially in the reggae scene, that's what we look like. A bunch of wandering fucking homeless people who got a van that they sleep in front of a Walmart on.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No matter how many polos I put on, this still looks like this. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Super Walmarts and hosting a lot of our van parties.
Word.
Bro, nothing was better than touring with another band.
Yeah.
Pulling up to a Super Walmart, you go all the way in the back. Now you got a place to fucking go in and get some food, dirt cheap. You got a place to go to the bathroom. And you just sit out in the vans. You open the doors, pull them up next to you, and just party.
Yo, I'm hungry.
And just get fucked up.
They got 12 footers in there for $6.
12 inches.
Word. Oh, that's what I meant.
Dude, 12 inch
footers.
stuff, $6. You want to split that? Yeah, fucking drop $3.
And then these guys get pissed off at me when I come walking out with my $6.99 full chicken rotisserie.
this guy.
And I'm just ripping chicken apart.
This
eating.
guy doesn't get upset at that. Don't forget, me and you in the beginning of it, we were the 2 guys in the band that weren't broke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
We were never broke 'cause we
were the
had-
ones- we had money.
We had jobs that we came back to that let us. And shout out to Phil for that, though.
Yeah.
Phil always said,
word.
when you guys come back, you got your full schedule. I would come back to my exact schedule.
I agree with that.
You
That-
people who took over.
That was...
You no longer worked that time because
Yeah.
this kid came back. And I'd come home, I'd work my ass off. And even at some point, what I used to do is, when I lived with him and Melissa, I would pay 2 months rent right before we left. So when I came back that
You
next
didn't have
month,
to worry about
I spent
it. Yeah.
So I'd always hand her 2 months.
Yeah.
Here you go. Thank you. I'll see you in 2 months.
I still give Phil a lot of credit for the success of Oogie Wawa.
Yeah.
100%. He
Between him and my brother Anthony,
I think he believed 100%.
My brother Anthony
and
was
if it
huge
wasn't
for us.
Yeah.
because he, number one, he let me stay in his basement, didn't give me shit if I didn't pay him any money. He'd make a comment, but he didn't give me shit for the most part. He basically took me in and allowed me to stay. And I recorded the first album there.
Yep.
When I went away on tour, I didn't have to worry about, rent and shit like that because he took care of me. And then he helped take care of the band.
He
in that
understood.
sense.
You know, like if we were, and I know this is hard to build. If we were just some garage band that was rah, 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 making noise, you know, no, I don't think that these people
would have done that.
like they would have, because it's like, oh, okay, you guys are trying, and like I'll support you, but it wouldn't have went on for as long. It's because we really were making a splash. We had a lot of success, you know,
sure.
and on our own, like completely independent. Running shit ourselves. Like I used to call them in like the middle of the night and be like, bro, you'll never guess what I just read. You know, like I just learned blah 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 blah, you know, like about intricate, you know, workings of the industry. Or like when JP was finally like, okay, we really need to learn about publishing. You know? It was like it was same thing. It would be like, okay, yeah, I just learned this, this, and this, you know, about publishing. Like we need to capitalize on that. So it was a lot of growth, a lot of growing and learning as we went. But I think it's been great.
Yeah,
you know,
these girls 2.0, baby.
yeah.
Yoko
Oh yeah.
2.0.
So fuck these girls. What's the next one after that one? It's all the same to me.
It's all the same to me,
yeah.
which is another Larry Coleman fucking.
That's right. Yeah,
Called
Larry Coleman
Glory.
came up with that riff. So that one, I wasn't even expecting it to be on this album. I was just bored in the barn one night. I had flown through like some other features I was doing and was just like in a writing mode, and I pulled that thing up and I wrote this quick little you know, it was supposed to be you know what it is? The instrumental reminded me a lot of like early Dirty Heads. You know, so I was just like, you know,
Kinda like-
it put me in like a silly mood.
Yeah.
You know, like I pull up in a dad van, like what's happening?
Yeah.
You know, like
But no, I think I had already written the hook too, though.
did you?
I sent that to you, and then you were like, send me the lyrics, and then you sent me the clapping emoji because you were like, nice lyrics.
Oh,
No, it's all the
because
same to me,
everything that I had already that I wrote to it worked with the hook, I think,
Oh,
right?
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest
I didn't
with you.
construct that verse off of.
I did send you guys
hook.
the.
It just happened to work.
I did send you guys the beat before there was a hook written.
You did.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's what I remember. Yeah.
See, that,
And
to
then,
me, that's one of my favorites, and not because I did a verse on it, just because of the feel of the
which
hook,
I think
lyrics.
you crushed that verse. So.
I had fun doing that.
That was a good one.
But I just love the hook to it. I don't know, something like just, you know, it's like so me.
Yeah,
It's like it's all the same to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like if
that's laid back, JP.
If people
Yeah.
listen to that and then
Yeah.
listen to this podcast and just see me sitting back staring at you guys as you're fucking talking about shit, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's the guy who
That's
wrote
it.
that
Yeah.
hook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very,
Yeah.
you know, but that's my shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Keep arguing on social media. You
Yeah.
losers.
Right, that's what it is. At
the end of the day.
we all get caught up in it, but after that, I did what I said.
Oh,
no
yeah.
more reply backs, man. I'll only post.
I mean,
That's
Yeah.
it.
I
And for the most part, that's what I do.
I jump in and I antagonize. I enjoy
We know,
it.
Gene.
I
We know.
enjoy that shit.
It's fun.
But go ahead.
Sometimes I get caught up in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
When people say
I'm
something
always
stupid,
in control.
some people say something stupid, and I gotta just, you know, I gotta say some shit. You know?
Listen. At some point, everyone hits their cap of bullshit, right? You know what I mean? And like, I feel like I've been pretty good. You know, I don't really get engaged or engage anymore on social media because it's like, it's proven. You're not changing anyone's opinion. All you're doing is wasting your own time, and getting yourself frustrated.
Right.
No.
You know, and you're feeding the machine.
You could frustrate them.
Also, on a side note here.
She just gets. Hey, listen.
Oh, sure, you can
we all have
frustrate them.
hobbies.
You can frustrate them too, but at the end, like me, I get frustrated when I'm trying to explain something that is factual and someone just comes back at me with opinion. And it's just like, yo, okay, I'm not changing your opinion. You don't want to hear the facts. I'm out. Like, that's it.
Well, sometimes opinions can be a little skewed. If I told you 2 years ago, man, that dude just sits home all day, smokes weed, and never goes out and looks for a job, you'd be like, well, that guy's irresponsible. Now, irresponsible is...
I hate what you're doing right now.
Now,
You
irresponsible
son of a bitch.
is...
Going out to
get a job and get to work and not sitting home smoking weed all day.
Yeah, right.
That's the fucking point. I'm like, you're making irresponsible a subjective term now when it used to be pretty clear cut what the fucking meant.
I agree.
This guy's
I
being
think
irresponsible.
I still think that's irresponsible, and for the fact that why am I here late and my hands filthy, right? Because it's been about a year now since my industry has been shut down. You know, I haven't been able to tour. I can't make money on music other than streams. We can't do live streams via Facebook where our fan base is anymore.
You were irresponsible today and made money for your family.
I was irresponsible by making a restaurant be responsible. I had to make.
Ironically,
yeah.
yes, there's the irony. See, it's a
I was
circle.
irresponsible making money so that a restaurant could be responsible to stay open
to
make money.
It's not like he was in a middle crowd of people.
No. I'm exaggerating.
I know what you mean.
People
I
are
get it.
saying,
Yeah,
you know,
I get it.
you're being this is because irresponsibility. That's why we're shutting down again. But meanwhile, in the beginning, everyone was like, December, it's gonna spike again.
Yeah.
Everyone's been
That is
saying
true,
it's gonna
though.
spike. How many times you hear it's gonna spike again, no matter what?
Right.
It's gonna spike again, no
Flu
matter
season,
what.
it's gonna
and guess
spike.
what happened? What happened?
I don't know why anyone's shocked.
It spiked again.
Why can't we just go on about our business? We still got the masks
I got a
on,
mask.
right?
I'll wear a mask.
Masks, and you can't catch coronavirus with a mask. You can't catch a coronavirus
After
sitting
10.
down.
Or
You
after
can't
10.
catch it after 10.
So we're good.
What more do you want?
Yeah, listen, Gene loves the 10 o'clock run, and I don't blame him.
I know he does.
The bartender restaurant, like Friday. Imagine being at Fridays
you
back
get
then.
your check.
Imagine the back in the day and Fridays, you being able to go, you guys got to get that. You guys got to get out. You got to get out. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
All right, I'll tell you a story, right? So this past week, I did my first show. I did my first
Yes, you
live
did.
performance
Oh, yeah,
in
how
like
was that show?
10 months. It felt
I was
it
working.
felt fantastic to just grab a microphone again.
Right.
The fact that my last show was to 8,000 people, and now my first show back was to 28 people.
Hey, that's not a bad number in that place. That
great.
place is
It's
probably
great.
illegally packed at 28 people.
No, they're allowed 32.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
No. Listen. Chad is very responsible down there. He's done a great
Really?
job. So now this is the story
He's
I'm going
not
to tell
stupid.
you. Right at the end of the night.
He's wiping people's hands with sanitizer.
At the end of the night,
I'm
bro,
joking.
he's when I say that he is above and beyond.
Because he needs the money. He's not
Absolutely,
fucking around.
he's
Why
not
fuck
trying
around?
to fuck around. This is how he lives.
To give
you
someone
know?
a beer, you're going to fucking lose.
He's got his mask on. He's got hand sanitizer all over the place. You know, anytime he walks from behind the bar, he hand sanitizes. When he walks back in, he hand sanitizes. Like, I mean, above and beyond.
Doing it,
what
but
he's
whatever.
doing.
Go on.
That's what I'm saying. Above and beyond. They have the table set in there properly. You know.
So at the end of the night,
Everyone knows the rules there. You know, like no one was sitting. Everyone had masks.
he's
that were
holding
up.
me. He's holding me. He's got me hooked right now. It's what happened at the end of the night. God
So
damn
at the
it.
end of the night, Black Alex finishes his set. Right. This is.
He calls himself that before anyone starts attacking.
BLAQUE.
I like that he goes by that. I don't know why. I like it. It
Well,
fits
it's
him.
like Black
it fits
Keys,
him too.
You know?
Is there a white Alex?
that
Black Thought.
No, he's black. BLACK.
know, I know, I'm fucking around.
But
But I like what he did. I
Wait a
like
minute, Black
I like-
Alex isn't black?
No, he is.
Oh,
It's
I'm
just-
like,
he
okay.
spells it. He doesn't spell
No,
it
I get it.
BLACK.
We're not calling him Black
No,
Al. You know, this
no.
guy. He's,
And I'm like,
His
wow.
artist name is Black Alex. Okay.
Is there a white Alex? No, I'm just keep going. I'm
sure there is a white
they'd make
Alex
a good.
somewhere.
They'd make
I
a
don't
good
know.
tag team. I don't know what to tell
he
you.
sings real Christian rock. White Alex.
Oh, I was about to say.
For sure. For sure.
No. I'm kidding.
So at the end of the night,
So at the end of the night, Alex finishes up his set. Okay, we'll make this PC here for you guys.
oh, shut up.
Okay.
Can you just finish the goddamn story?
Yeah, come on. I'm having fun here. We're not having fun. All right, so whatever. Alex finishes up his set, right?
Okay.
And it's, at this point, I'd say it's like 20 to 10, right? Chad basically calls last call. SLA walks in, right? I mean, everyone's finishing up their drinks anyway. You know, like no one was really even drinking. SLA walks in. You could tell. She's fucking walking around, and I watch her. She's standing at the edge of the bar with her camera up. Now, there's a table in the way back, right? That the guy stands up.
Was you?
Both of us. We're going nuts here.
Yeah.
The guy stands up.
The guy stands up to put his coat on, and she takes a picture. And then once he gets his coat on, he puts his mask on, and they walk away from their table. And I looked back at her, and I went, "Oh, yo, you're filthy. Like, really?" And she said, "Got to adhere by the rules." And walks away. I'm like, this bitch just waited. And, like, literally, the guy was sitting at his table, right? He stood up, put his coat on, put his mask on, and walked away. But as he stood up and was putting his coat on, click, she took a picture of some guy, of some guy standing in the bar with no mask on.
Yeah, but that's a hard thing to prove. I'd be like,
She got a picture of it.
She's standing at the table. Is he standing at the
He's
table?
standing at the
but
table.
He could, you know.
yeah, he can be like, I was.
She ripped him a new asshole. ripped. And then as she's writing up the thing, she goes, I really appreciate what a great job you guys have been doing here all summer long. I came down here, and it's nice how you had the music outside, and everyone was socially distancing. And it's like,
What?
She has power.
he called me.
She got power. That's
Turns out that she was like a geologist, right?
What?
The lady was a geologist.
You should throw a rock at her.
This is what I just found out. Most of the
They're doing her own medicine, that
A
bitch.
magnumus rock.
most of these SLA people
Yeah.
are apparently there was only 25 people assigned to the SLA before COVID. Now
Oh,
there's
my
like
gosh.
over 2,000, and they're all people that just are. Okay, here you go.
Oh, I can yell at people?
There you go.
Just super fucking.
How crazy is that?
How
insane.
dare you people? They're how dare you people. They're all a bunch of how dare yous.
Everyone is a how dare you.
Oh, God. Gotta follow the. Oh, my God. No one called her a cunt.
I said, I
one
looked her
person?
dead in the, and I go, ooh, you're filthy.
That could have doubled the fine, so I agree. You have to,
Yeah.
you have to be calm.
We booed her when she walked. Boo.
I'm sure she. Yeah, she probably loved it. The
Oh, yeah, she got off on
attention.
that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she
She had the
that she did-
power. There was
It's
nothing
just
she
such
could
a
do.
bullshit show
What kind
of
of
force.
what kind of ticket is it? What kind of thing?
I mean,
No, that
if it
garage
goes
has
through,
$1,500.
you get $10,000 in fine, and if it happens again, if this is like their second, they'll lose a liquor license.
What about the person who stood up that got written something up?
He's just a patron.
Yeah,
But I'm saying, what did he? Did
Nothing.
they wrote a ticket to who?
the establishment.
To the establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we should call those people out. You suck at life.
Like, I mean, listen, if I don't like it.
That's the proof.
But I get that aspect of the job. If she had walked in and there were people all up like on the dance floor, no masks on and shit like that.
Don't abuse it.
I get.
Don't abuse
then
it.
you have all the right, I guess, to. I don't agree with it. Fuck you. Let people live their lives. But in the current circumstances, I guess you have all the right to take that picture and exploit and say, look, you guys are not doing the right thing. You're gonna.
They should have to
Everyone
take.
else.
You know what? They should have to take video, and it should have to be for a certain amount of time.
Yep, I agree.
Not,
Everyone
not
else in that
fucking
bar
photos.
had. I tried to peek my head in front of it, and guys know me. Like I'm like fuck you, but I had my mask on because it's my buddy's bar, and this is the fucking rules. If I was not sitting down at the bar, I was standing up. Talking to my friend who was sitting at the bar, and I had my mask
no,
on.
that's,
I tried to stick my
usually
stick
they're.
my head
What's funny
in front
is
of a camera,
it's, what it is it's also if they have something against that bar, because they come into my place, which is about 100
She was
yards
raving
away.
about how what a great job they've been doing.
But my point is, 100 yards away, SLA comes in there. They just really is everyone got a mask on and sitting great, and they walk out because they know
Wow.
we're a good, but we have good.
You know
standing.
what I think?
We have
I think-
good social standing in my
I think
place.
music attracted them. The music
Of course,
attracted
music
them,
is
and then
crowds.
it was hip hop music on top of it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, what are these hoodlums doing over here
No, I
with
just
this
think
loud
I think music
rap
just brings
music?
out crowds. So
I'm gonna go in there.
Chow, 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 chow. Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. You know, Gene's just happy he gets to tell motherfuckers to leave at 9:30. Gotta
know
go.
he does. I know he
Gotta
does.
go.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. And listen, I don't
Oh.
blame him.
Good.
I don't blame him for
No,
liking that.
listen, if I was still bartending, if I was working at Miller's right now, and it was, I'd be like, yo, 9:30.
What would Gene? Oh, if
You
we were all at
you guys
Miller's,
are outta here.
what would Gene be playing on the jukebox at
Exactly. You
9:30?
forgot the jukebox DJ?
The door.
Oh, sorry.
The doors.
I got excited. I got all excited
Remember,
right there
I
about
used to have to play closing. I'd have to play closing time 3 times in
Yep.
a row after playing a DMX mix of Eminem and beat yourselves up.
Remember what Gene used to do? He used to play. He used to go to the
The
jukebox.
bouncer used to
He'd
bang
be
it.
gone
He would
from the,
play the most
bar, packed out bar.
banged out shit. Yeah.
He'd look for the most hood shit
The
you could
most
find.
violent.
Yep.
Sure
You
shit.
man.
Yep.
And with $5
I got
pictures.
100 guns, 100 kids. Yeah.
Eminem, you make you lose.
People are paying.
lose.
People
Yeah,
are
yeah,
paying $5.48 for a
43.
picture of 43.
Remember?
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
cut
the
the 8
math
in
was
half.
a 7. You know.
Paying $5.43 for a pitcher of
How do you
beer.
not use any pennies when it's for
Really? Yeah.
Because
no.
I'm round.
Because I threw that. I threw the penny at
Nonetheless.
them.
So now you got
people
you
are
mix
wilding out in there.
you mix $5 doubles of certain liquor drinks.
Yep.
You mix $5 pitchers of fucking beer.
We're in Levittown. Gene's playing the most banged out shit.
Just not
And then
giving a
here
shit.
comes a big
Y'all
10
gonna
pound.
make me lose my mind.
Here comes a 9-pound glass pitcher crash over the bouncer's head. He gets rushed to the hospital. There's blood everywhere. And now they're plastic.
We were plastic for a while, weren't we?
Yeah, we were big, heavy glass.
We were glass.
Until it got punched over a bouncer's head.
But also Gene's other
We
jukebox
accelerated
move.
the process.
Does everyone remember Gene's other jukebox move?
Yeah, closing time. Back to back.
No. What you did at closing time? Do you remember what you'd always play?
No.
He'd play like Sinatra.
Oh,
He'd
yeah,
find
yeah.
the
I'd
slowest
find
crooner
yeah,
shit and
I'd
just
be like,
big band.
You're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
You're leaving.
You're
You're
leaving.
fucking
You're gonna lose your mind.
Yeah.
We used to have to do that at James Joyce when I worked there because people would not leave. They didn't want to fucking leave. And, we're talking 4:30 in the morning, just leave.
Yeah.
So then
Goodbye.
we would go on the
It's up
iPad.
to you,
Bro, there was one
New
year.
York.
There was one day we
New
played
York.
the Barney theme song
Oh my
3
God.
times in a row and no one said a word. Not a word. They're just like, yeah, okay. Just drinking, not giving a shit.
This is lamb chops. Play along with.
Should have did the Norton song that never ends.
Oh my God.
That
Yeah, right?
would have been the one. Fuck Barney.
What song
Or
that
just
never
start
ends?
screaming. Wah!
Play a fucking noise of a baby.
That's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Bro, everyone would leave. Everyone would leave.
That's when you go, oh, John, your wife's on the phone. Watch how quick they run out. No, I'm kidding. Oh, real quick, let's finish this. So then the next track is Alone, right? Which is just, it is what it is. It's that type of a hip-hop track. And the last one is It's Life, which is something that I wrote throughout the course of
10 years.
about 10 years. Yeah.
wow.
The first verse is before your kids. Second verse is after the twins.
Well, we morphed 2 verses to make the first verse, and then another
Yes,
2
we
verses
did.
to make the second verse, and then that third verse was
You wrote
when
after
Lincoln
after
was,
the third.
Wow.
just had a third now. Absurd how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that song is really cool because
That's why I like how you added 10-year passage to it.
Yeah, the
'Cause
decades passage.
it makes
yeah.
you want to listen. Like, what the fuck is he talking
What does
about?
that mean?
Like,
Yeah. Well, also, it's like I feel like it gets lost if that's not explained because, again, it wasn't written that way. It wasn't supposed to be written that way. Originally, it was just one long verse, and then
I remember.
John Paul created the beat for that long verse that I had. And then I just kind of kept adding to that verse throughout the years.
And then I was like, all right.
yeah, then
He's
he's
getting a
like,
little winded.
I'm putting a hook in this, Jess. We're gonna make this an actual song here. And I go, oh, perfect. Actually, I got a third verse that would work great about Lincoln that I just wrote. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the album.
So yeah, it's go check it out.
Fire is
OogeeLee
fire.
and Wave Rider. Fire is fire. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I'll put a little how you doing in the beginning of this video. Why not?
Yeah, might as well.
I'll shameless plug the fuck out of it.
Let's do it.
Fuck.
I said, yo, speaking of, Tom Macdonald fans are fucking hardcore and loyal.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a fan of the fans. I'm a fan of
I'm
his
a fan.
fans.
I said, I was
I
like, I
am.
feel like we just stumbled onto like a really cool dysfunctional family here, where it seems like they
they're
all know each other.
They're
It's cool.
like showered juggalos. Maybe
showered.
maybe not so trashy.
I'm following
Is the word I'm
you.
looking at?
I'm
Yeah,
following.
I don't know. Everyone seems mad cool. I like that there's like they have that community about them where it's like someone made a comment on one of our videos and someone else commented. It was like, "Hey, Randall, like whatever,
Oh, yeah,
whatever."
we know
And it's
each
just
other.
like, yeah, I love that
Well,
everyone knows each other.
He also comments on those videos. I
Right.
mean, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of making reaction videos, but the way we do the music one, I think, and I'm going to say this now on camera, I think we should change it to more of a review because that's what we are doing as
Sure.
a longtime hip hop head, musician, but we also do this. We did this for a living
Yeah.
for a long time, to where I think our input is somewhat respectable.
Sure. I agree.
Why not? Right?
That's fair. I agree.
I know you're very knowledgeable because you were involved in it actually in some
Yeah,
senses.
for a while,
yeah.
You were just on the business end,
Yeah.
and that's just as important.
It's- if not-
Unfortunately,
if not
it's just
more
as important,
important.
as the actual.
If there's one thing
artistry.
I learned about this Tom Macdonald guy is that
It's all about it.
he's very intelligent on both ends. Like,
Yeah,
again, like I've
he
said
knows
it, I
his
thought
shit.
he was just a shock value artist, and dude's got real content. Like he's deep. Like there's layers to his shit, and I like it. And I will say this, I agree because I forget who says it. Oh oh man, I don't remember which artist says it now, but someone says like, I don't need to do reactions to get views, like talking about these YouTube rappers, and I was never wanted to do reaction videos specifically because of that one line where it's like, yo, I don't need to do that to get views, you know, so I'm just not going to do it.
We started with it because it was fun.
But now it's like,
Yeah,
It is fun.
yo, I just found a new artist that I'm actually really enjoying.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found a few of my
PS,
favorite artists.
We
now.
don't get paid for those, by the way.
Yeah, no.
We're a monetized channel, but we don't get paid for the reaction videos. That goes to somebody else.
That goes to the
Yeah.
artist because we're
That's-
playing
yeah.
their music, which I also
They
like,
just don't ban it.
right. We're not making money on it. We also don't pause it. And if you, I've noticed, I've watched a few like reactors. They have to fuck with the footage or the audio or something to get it.
I've tried
approved
it
for them
and
to
I've tried
monetize.
it. It doesn't always work, man.
You know,
It's a bitch.
they'll skip it or they'll put like a copyright sign up or like I've seen a few things and I'm like,
The Dave
I hate
Chappelle.
that.
You know why the Dave Chappelle one worked? And it was actually monetized. Do you know why?
Why?
Because
he blurred it.
The whole thing was blurred out,
Right.
so you didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
You know what else actually worked beautifully? Was the Tom Segura bikes, because I got rid of the video and I just put the cover. And I was wondering, because I was looking at all the other videos going, now I understand it. For some reason that was like heavily blocked, like
Wow.
not happening. Like
Crazy.
it's, you know,
I don't
like
know
I
anything
said
about that shit,
You know what
but-
I think the core of a reaction video is why they gain so much momentum and why they're so love showing other people what they love.
Absolutely. Like today, if
I showed
we're gonna
you-
do a couple, I have something that I want. Like we didn't talk about it, but I'm so adamant about showing you guys John Bellion because he's a Long Island dude and because he's just literally like one of the best artists out there.
He's a great
just
writer.
in general,
Big writer, big
Like,
time writer.
I can't wait to show you guys this. Some of
But
him. You know,
that's
like-
my point. Like to you, you're going to be excited to watch it. Like comedy generally doesn't. It's something you don't really watch over like a movie we can watch 30 times. You can
Right,
watch
right.
a special
Or listen to a song
5,
1,000 times.
Yeah, 5,
Right,
10
sure.
times and be like, oh, like I could still go back to an old Bill Burr thing because I was listening forever.
Excuse me, sorry.
I would laugh. It would be funny. Especially if you don't watch it for a while, you kind of forget the way he goes into things.
Sure.
But showing somebody it for the first time, all of a sudden becomes funnier.
It brings an
Don't know
emotion.
why.
Yeah. We
So-
talked about this because I remember saying to JP because full disclosure here, people. If you haven't figured it out in 15 episodes, Jesse's not very pop culture savvy. Okay, I like my I like my hand tools and my fucking weed and leave me the hell alone. You know what
Growing
I'm saying?
beards and
Yeah.
using hand tools.
Not that I hate it. I'm just saying I'm not like so. I had no idea that reaction videos was a thing, and like a big genre of thing at all. And I just
And what's
happened to
crazy
stumble.
is why it's crazy because you watch YouTube a lot.
Right,
But
I
you
do.
watch a specific thing.
I mean, I type what I want in YouTube.
Right. Right.
Not because of the social dilemma and not using. I just,
Recommended?
it's like if I open up YouTube, it's for a reason. Like.
That's recommended.
No, I'm saying like I would open up YouTube and type in a specific
No.
thing. Like, how can I? What's the cutting temperature of epoxy? You know what I mean? And it would be like, okay, let me watch this. If I have to cut this epoxy, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? But it's like specific things that I would type
No,
into
I get it.
YouTube. And then it was like during quarantine. I think Sketch, maybe it was Sketch who sent it to me. Someone sent me a video of MGK, of Machine Gun Kelly, doing one of his quarantine things. Maybe it was the Smoke and Drive one, and it blew my fucking mind.
I sent you that one.
Oh, it was you. Yeah, that's right, it was you. So, and
dare you.
I'm sorry, because, Sketch sends me a lot
I
of
just
shit.
became an how dare you person.
You did.
Go on.
Yeah.
Sketch sends me things on YouTube because he doesn't use any other platform, right? So that's why I thought it might have been him.
All right, go.
But so whatever. So I watched this MGK thing, and then in the recommendeds, I saw that there was a reaction to this MGK thing, and it was like rapper reacts to, and I just for some reason it caught me, and I went click, and I clicked on it, and I'm watching this guy, I don't know his fucking name, a rapper apparently react to an MGK thing, and I was just like, yo, this is dope. I want to see what this guy thinks about
watched
this.
the magician
and
react.
then I fell into a hole.
Yeah.
And I was like, JP, did you ever hear of this? And he goes, oh, yeah, dude, I love reaction videos. I was like, what?
No
Like,
Life
this is-
Shack got me into it. There's one guy named No Life
Life
Shack.
Shack.
He's from Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania somewhere. But it's
interesting
just he just has this funny way of talking and his reactions. But he's a hip hop dude. But he'll
Right.
he'll react to Alice in Chains. He'll
Nice.
react to like AC/DC. He'll react to,
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
Slipknot.
Yeah, that's
And he
cool.
genuinely loves everything.
See, that's what
But
I like.
if something's really funny, like he'll go nuts. Like he reacts to something in a way where it's like over the top, but it's real.
Right.
So it's like this guy got me into it. And then, when you watch one, you know what happens.
You watch another, and
You
then
watch another, and you watch it. I
Yeah.
watched a magician react to a magician reacting to his stuff.
Oh my god.
Yo, you're deep,
Swear to
bro.
God.
You're deep.
Swear to God, it was an accident. I'm
I
like,
think-
why are there two boxes? I'm like, he's reacted to a
I
reaction
think-
of his shit. That's funny.
I think you're overreacting.
Yeah, you are. All right, but hear me out. If we react to, say, a Tom Macdonald video, and then Tom Macdonald puts out a video of us reacting to it, you're gonna be like, "Yo, we gotta react to that."
Yo, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. We
You know
gotta
what I'm
react
saying?
to react. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my god. If
And
Tom
then it's
does
just a
this,
chain.
That'd be too much.
It's just a chain.
a chain reaction.
reaction.
See what he did there?
I hate you for that one, but I don't. I don't hate you at all for that one.
You guys are fun. Let's talk
man.
about AOC's list.
Oh my
Speaking
god.
of reactions, I do want to talk about that real fast.
I know you did.
I gotta. To have a list.
Explain what
All right,
this
so
is.
her list is, she didn't really create it.
No.
So I forgot who it was who created it.
I think I don't know why it's dubbed AOC's list. Maybe
Because
you dubbed
she-
it that.
Because she's polarizing, so it's a
because
good-
she's the one
you
who
throw it on
came
her?
out front with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But she's called Trump sycophants, as the way she put it.
Trump sycophants?
Yeah.
That's like 6ix9ine, ain't they called sycophants or some shit?
Who the fuck
But go
knows
ahead.
what they're called?
That's your boy.
That's your
Not my
boy.
but go ahead. Not my boy.
Let's not get him shot.
Yeah.
All
That's
your boy's boy.
Before you
Not
get
even.
Gene
No,
shot,
not
let's
even.
not
Not
call
even.
him that.
It's Brooklyn.
Not
You know how
even.
Brooklyn do.
Not even.
He's Crooklyn.
Yes.
Oh,
He's-
is 6ix9ine Brooklyn?
yes.
Allegedly.
No, he was.
He's
Okay.
somewhere in Brooklyn he's from.
But she got a list because
Not
she...
my Brooklyn.
Not my Brooklyn. yeah. He's from gentrified Brooklyn. No, but go ahead. He's from gentrified Brooklyn.
She wants to, speaking of not my Brooklyn, not my president, this whole night.
I didn't
She
say all
wants to, I know,
Okay.
I'm joking around. She wants to create a list of people that worked in his cabinet and not let him get a job everywhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
Blackball him, blacklist him. Like serious, devious shit.
Very tyrannical,
Scary.
very Maoist of her.
Because you
of
know a
them
lot of
to say
people,
that.
But Betsy
they do their
DeVos is
things.
rich. She shouldn't get a job. I never liked her.
But you know what I'm
But
saying?
I-
Like that's low.
Ben
That's the
Carson's,
low of low.
He's funny. Something I like that guy. He's all right.
Oh, Ben Carson was on the top of their list. Ben Carson shouldn't get a job. It's like
As a neurologist, what do you do wrong?
he's a
That-
fucking
In any-
brain surgeon.
In any
what-
political, I think it's any political.
You're gonna tell me it's gonna start? It's gonna stop there if that really happens?
Because
Of course
apparently,
not.
I
it's
know.
gonna be let's
Oh,
ruin
she doesn't
it.
want them to run for office?
No, she doesn't want him to work for anyone in politics again.
So
She doesn't want them coming around. You know how did you ever see the movie?
I'm trying to figure out the strategy behind that. Is that because
I'm going to tell you what it is.
there's a Trump
I'm going to tell you what it is.
philosophy
She doesn't want them
want-
coming around going, "Oh, I know I was wrong," or if they felt they were wrong, and trying to play up.
Yeah, but
Did you ever see
No,
the movie?
I
Did you ever
think-
see the movie?
I think it's because she views them as despicable,
Right. And she doesn't want
deplorable
them.
Yes, I can see
pieces
that.
of shit
And she doesn't want them
who
to
are
go
in the way of her progressive movement.
Right, she doesn't want
Yeah.
them to go to another place or even try and take back anything
Of
that they
course.
did to try
Yeah,
and get a
but-
job.
but
It's the
who-
same
but
reason
who-
why they're
no
going to
one's-
stack the courts. It's the same exact reason.
yeah, but they're not taking anything back.
Who?
It's the point is,
has
point
have
is the list.
Have you seen? I get the point, but my whole thing
yes, she doesn't want anyone to try and say it just to try and get a job. In other
Is
words,
that what it is?
is. Yeah, but no one.
That's one of the
No,
things.
I get the thought process.
One of the things.
The thought process is
That's one.
The thought process is there's a I guess, for lack of a better term, there's an evil in that whole
Evil empire. We can just
Or
go with
If you
evil
could
empire.
support, if you could support a man like Donald Trump, then you
then you are
are
inherently evil,
Yeah.
and
Right.
your input in politics is dangerous.
Which
That's
is
the
fine.
thought. I'm not saying it
Which is fine. You're not
right or
wrong to
but
think that.
that's
It's
what she's
actually
thinking.
like what
You're
a
not
family
wrong.
member of mine said to me a few weeks ago.
Yes, basically.
Right.
You're all
It's along those lines.
disgusting, uneducated pieces of shit, rape supporters.
Right.
Because you would vote or support or defend a man like Donald Trump.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even though people had said.
That is the AOC's of the world's
but fuck
philosophy.
Tara Reid, right?
Right, but she doesn't count.
She doesn't count. Anyway.
Because one assault victim
Right,
is...
right. Sniffing children. Whatever. Go
It's
on. Moving
okay to just get someone else in there.
on. Moving on. But no, but the idea of the list, I think, is just
It's dangerous.
literally
And anyone that supports something like that,
that's horrible.
it's like,
She got a lot of
y'all
shit
need
for that,
to
though.
look
I
through
feel like
history.
it's-
No, she didn't.
I feel like she's
she
wrong.
did though.
But not really.
No, she did. But what do you want her?
did.
What do you want him to do?
You got anchors on CNN that are agreeing with her.
I know, but-
yeah,
An anchor?
that sounds right.
Yeah, but
Fuck anchors.
But that's how
They're
people
all
get their.
douchebags.
That's how people. You might not get your news and your information that way, and you might not, and I might
yeah,
not.
but
but
honestly,
I tell you what, guys, there's 77 million people in this country that do.
Those
I know, but-
people.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like-
and
Yeah,
there's
but that-
150 million people that
Yeah,
didn't
but
vote.
it's no
so.
it's no different than the
Maybe
people
more.
who are saying that the election was stolen. Like, I'm not mad at them. And then there's anchor people who are saying the election was stolen. So there are people who are being programmed to believe that this whole exchange is illegitimate. So you know what I mean. So I can't when the news anchor now. If you want
Wait,
to,
what are you saying? Are you saying that about the election?
He's just talking. No, he's just
No.
talking about how news anchors are saying.
yeah. So if
gotcha,
you want
gotcha.
to go after news anchors, I agree with that. I think that them being picking sides
opinionated
and being opinionated
is dangerous.
And I think that there needs to be a conversation with these guys because they've gotten too emotionally vested in the news. But as far as what she said and did,
I hear you, but how do you go back from where we're at? Like that's what I
What do you mean?
agree with you.
You know how you go back?
I don't see it.
You
I
know-
just don't
you know
see
how you go
how.
back. You focus more on the problem is the news outlets have become arms of their independent
Parties.
So you know, Fox is an arm of the Republican Party. CNN is an arm of the Democratic Party, and I think that part needs to end because the same way Senate has to work together and make bills, Fox and CNN, I know it's impossible, but they have to sit there and say, you know what? We have to focus on giving the news. We can have different takes on the same news, but they don't even do the same stories. That's how bad they are.
Yeah.
They literally say
When you go to a gym.
this story's better
You see
for
both of them. They're talking about completely
yeah, because
opposite
this story
things.
favors my candidate, and this story favors my candidate or my
Right.
party. And to the point now, we talked about Newsmax last week, but like it's so funny because at work I'm like I've been running around asking people, so you know, do you watch
whole
Newsmax?
Newsmax
And they're
thing,
like, yeah.
thing.
So I'm like, so you're not that big into Fox right now? And they're like, so not you don't have to mock everyone now. So I'm like, so basically,
I would mock those people too.
So like, so you're
It's
telling
hilarious.
me Fox is not intense enough? We need to go to
Right.
Newsmax.
They called out. They called out your president.
Yeah, they
Like,
really.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
they really know what's going on. They're deeper into the conspiracy. I'm like, okay. And then one guy was like, yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but hear me out on this one here. It's like for the last however many years, we're seeing and we're being told how these major news organizations are controlled by someone above
Yes,
them, right? That
I
tells
believe
them
that.
what to do, right? And now all of a sudden you're seeing all this stuff come out about election frauds and people are starting to learn the laws now
Yes.
of understanding why Trump has a position to appeal and bring up and why Biden shouldn't concede or why he shouldn't have conceded if it was the latter. You know what I'm saying? Like people are learning these things. So for a news organization like Fox, who supporters of the president used to watch, go in turn and say President-elect Biden and not call it the way that I guess it should be of these states, these electoral votes have yet to... That's my issue. And not saying that Newsmax is doing a better job of that, but
Bro,
one of my uncles sent me one of my uncles sent me Steve Bannon is a genius though that people need to he's a problem. Okay.
Yes, I do believe that.
But I mean I think in a good way.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
I just lost my train of thought. Oh, so but for no one to there's not a single news organization that is explaining to the American people the process and what is happening.
They're spouting their opinion on it.
Right. Everyone is just going off of...
Some do it. I just think that...
Right. I'm saying that there was a section on Newsmax that my uncle sent me that this... I forget who it was because I don't know. I don't watch that shit, but... I don't watch any of them, but... He was explaining the process and the law. You know, and if the courts can't decide and things don't get worked out by then... It gets dumped over to the House. You know, if they can't come up with if Biden doesn't get 270 by mid-December, it goes to the House. It goes out of the courts, it goes to the House, and then I know, but the House decides.
Okay, here's the thing.
And then Biden wins anyway, but regardless.
But here's the thing.
It's just good that people need to know the process so that the opinions and the rhetoric slows the fuck down.
I know, but
that's all I was trying to say.
The process, I agree with you, but I think that you're discounting the theatrics that they're purposely putting in the way. Because I'm going to give you an example. Even if I'm Donald Trump, I'm the president of the United States, we just had an election, I lost. But I believe that we have to go to court to clear some stuff up. There's still nothing wrong with saying president-elect because that can be reversed if I prove my case.
Okay.
It's like going to court and not being guilty. It's like going to court and calling someone guilty or not guilty.
Well, you're saying you think Trump should say that?
I think that...
It just blows my mind. People are still upset about Trump not saying what he's supposed to say as a president.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's been 4 years of this guy. You know what I mean?
Like, it's not that it blows. It's not that Trump. It's that
not blowing your mind.
No, it doesn't blow my mind. It's just that
it's blowing people's
everyone
minds.
else's mind.
No,
That's the problem.
No, but it's
I can't believe he's that. What do you mean?
It's not just that. Is that for the first time? Like, okay, so the Republican Party has 2 open seats that they're fighting in a runoff in Senate in Georgia. So how I interpret it is the Republican Party, who've been doing this for years. Donald Trump's been doing this for 4. Those guys have been doing this whole shindig forever. Yep. Now they're, for the first time in their careers, they're in a box where it's like, we kind of have to go along with this because we need the support because Donald Trump's fan base is so strong and his actual Republican base is so strong that the party is faking unity right now to try to gain those 2 seats in Georgia because if there's a rift between Donald Trump and the Senate Majority Leader and everybody else, there's a chance that it all could fall apart. And Mitch McConnell, once again, I always tell you that guy's name, the master chess player that he is like everyone needs to stay in line till January. Like we need these fucking seats because if he doesn't get those 2 seats, he's not a majority leader because the Senate will have flipped.
Yep.
So now Donald Trump is out here like, yo, I didn't lose. And they're like, you know what? We kind of have to go with this flow because we can't break. You know what I'm saying? Like there's too much.
Does anyone know the last time there was a president like when in the House on the same side, like both like Democrat or both Republican?
I want to say Clinton won the
I didn't follow
Jeff,
it. So
yeah, Bill Jeff.
Yeah, I think Clinton one of the years. I can't tell you which one. Maybe the first, not the second.
First, not the second. Yeah, because I think he flipped everything from senior.
Maybe that's because of the senior thing. Usually it flips, and then and that's the last time there was a 4-year presidency.
Right.
4-year president is Bush.
Oh no, I thought you meant Clinton.
Bush
Senior was the last.
It generally flips in the middle of their. Right. Generally, is what I'm saying.
Like to say that George Bush was.
Well, then technically, so this is the last time because wasn't didn't we have the Senate? By we, I don't know why I said we. I'm not even a Republican. What?
Obama never had the Senate.
Yeah,
never. That was Mitch McConnell's.
But didn't Trump have it though this time or no?
Yes. Trump had the Senate, not the House.
Like Mitch McConnell's famous for saying that
anyone had all 3.
So it's like where conservatives are freaking out right now is that if the Senate is flipped,
then Biden's going to push every agenda that he really wants.
What Biden's going to do is he's going to stack the courts, and then conservatives are going to lose everything. Because now he'll be able to appoint as many fucking
he'll have the House, he'll have the Senate
judges he wants to pass through anything, you know.
But then if a Republican becomes, then they'd be able to do the same thing.
What? kick them out?
No,
they never did it before.
They'd be able to stack it too. Why wouldn't you be able to? You can continue stacking then.
No, because once you're appointed a Supreme Court justice, you're appointed for life.
Okay, so right now there's 9, 63 conservative to liberal, right?
So what you're saying is Biden's going to put in
3 more, right? Let's say Biden has 3 more. That's what you're saying?
No, he's going to probably add 12 more.
Okay, so he adds 12 more,
and then you're saying that the next Republican president is going to add 10 more, and now we're going to have fucking 40-something Supreme Court justices, and by the end of it, everyone's going to be a Supreme Court justice.
Okay, what would that?
Like,
okay,
what do you mean?
Yeah, what would be the answer? Okay, let's say he does do it. What would be the Republican answer to it? They would have to do the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? There's no other answer. Right now it's 6-3. The answer is to put more because it's 6-3.
No, the answer is not to put. The answer is not put more. The answer is. You leave the fucking Supreme Court the way it is.
I know, but you
just leave it. Just don't fuck with it. It's the one area that works.
You're looking at it from a view of a conservative. At 63, we're losing. How do I win the game? See, I'm not looking at it conservative liberal. I'm looking at it as the game. If they're up 6-3,
this is the problem.
This is a game. Like people have gotten caught up. Okay, see the people actually playing the game.
If Trump was smart,
everybody else is getting all emotional about it.
If Trump was smart, someone would have put something in there that says you cannot stack the courts.
You cannot do an executive order.
I didn't say an executive order. You got to pass an amendment or something that says the Supreme Court stays at this number.
But why?
You know what I mean? Because then throughout life, anytime that there's a losing side, they can just stack the courts.
And that is the price of losing.
Gene, what I'm saying, I'm
not saying it's right or wrong.
In the course of 20 years, you're saying that we could have 40 somewhat Supreme. No, it doesn't work.
You can't shrug that off. It's an issue.
I'm with you.
The problem with the House of Representatives is that there's too many fucking people.
Bro,
there's too many people in the House.
Listen, the game is already. The game is as dirty as it gets.
But that has to change.
And this is why. And this is my whole point with the whole thing.
I'll never agree to that.
I don't agree to that either. It's a dumb way of thinking because now you're just saying it's just going to get worse.
Okay,
this is how Rome falls.
But that's how you play the game.
But
it's a terrible way to think.
This is exactly right now why we don't know who the next president of the United States is.
My point is
because we're all still playing the game.
But the point is.
You see my point?
I mean, yes, but
we're playing the game because we have a president who said who didn't lose.
I'm just against
and another guy who said he won.
I think
we don't
know right now because we're in a vulnerable transition in society when it comes to technology here, right? Because we as Americans, like we talked about this. We as Americans, we're so used to the instantaneous. Right? You can watch American Idol, and in that same night, they can cast 100 million fucking votes, and you know who the winner is.
Yeah, but Jesse...
Yet, with an election that, okay, go ahead, call it conspiracy or whatever, there was a lot of odd things that were allowed this year that just opened up the door for election fraud on both sides. I'm not pinpointing this on the Democrats. I'm saying that on both sides. There's a lot of weird shit that went down. You need to sift this shit out.
Part of the game.
But it shouldn't be. And no, it's not part of the game.
Yes, it is.
It was never part of the game before. The reason it's a part of the game now is because of technology. We have the technology to make this safer, quicker, and more efficient. And we don't do that because what technology does is take out that human error that we have gotten by on for years. You listen to George Bush's attorney from 2000, he even says it, and I believe this because none of the Bushes like fucking Trump or the Trump administration. Like the Trump administration literally threw the Bush Republicans into the fire.
Yeah.
So this guy comes out and he says straight out on TV, no, there's election fraud every year.
Yes.
He goes, this year was just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Why does that drive you so crazy?
Because, all right, for the same reason why...
but why doesn't it drive you anything at all?
Me?
For the same reason why the United States government sent out 1.1 million stimulus checks to dead people. We can't get our shit together. If there was a corporation that was running like this, what would the board say? That CEO would be fired.
Yeah.
That shit would be the whole revamp would happen because it doesn't work. We literally hemorrhage money year after year. Like I was just talking to Kenny about this morning, and him telling me why he voted, the way he voted. And I was just like, bro, but what you're saying is you're just like, oh, the government can just give us money.
They can.
Where is the government getting this money from?
The way they've gotten it the whole
From
time.
you, from me,
Yeah.
from you,
Yes.
from us. So if you were a boss, right, and you had a manager that worked under you, that just completely mismanaged money all the time and kept saying, well, I need a little bit more. Or you had a shitty friend, right? You had a dirtbag friend who just sucked with his money, and you kept helping him out. Here, I'll give you some money. And he just keeps coming back for more money because he mismanages his money. At what point are you going to cut him off and be like, listen, you suck. I'm not giving you any more money.
The irony of this conversation, but go on.
What?
Just go on.
I'm not giving you.
You know what I mean? Irony of the conversation.
I'm not giving you any more money because you suck with money.
Yeah, the irony.
I get it. I get what you're saying. But the people have bad credit. The country has bad credit. You're trying to single out one over the other. I agree with you. The government mismanages money. But I will also tell you,
what I'm trying to say is I don't understand what people can't grasp of this concept, right? The government takes a lot of tax dollars from us.
Okay.
And then mismanages that money. And now in the time of need, you're sitting here mad at the people that took your money for not giving you your money back.
yes,
Stop giving them your money.
there's no way to do that,
Yes,
Jesse.
there is.
How would you do that?
Elect the people, the proper people that are going to properly manage
You
your
mean the
money.
guys- okay, hold
Not
on.
47 years of status quo America who's going to
Bro.
go, well, we'll just give everyone free stuff.
Listen,
and mismanage money.
Even Donald Trump,
Mismanaged money.
Even Donald Trump, Mr. Rebel himself.
Spending went up under Trump.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mr. Rebel himself. So guess what?
That's where he lost me.
Obama bailed out the auto industry. Who bailed out the banks?
Bush.
Bush bailed out the banks, and Trump bailed out the
airplanes.
So what are you saying? It will always be done. I don't care who they are. They will always bail out people.
Yes, if we
So
continue
who can you vote for?
If we continue to vote for the two Joe Jorgensen.
Jorgensen. I saw this coming. I saw this coming.
But that's the
Joe
answer.
Jorgensen would have bailed someone out too.
No, she wouldn't have.
She would've gotten
Yeah, you know who
forced
she
to.
would have bailed out? The fucking American people. Because
that
income
sounds
tax
so
would
cute.
have. The income tax would have been gone.
Listen, can I ask a question?
Listen, I don't even want to get into
Donald
this
Trump
again.
bailed out the farmers.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Farmers, like you grow crap.
I'll tell you what.
I'm bailing out farmers.
Yes, and you should, because that's how you get
so
to eat.
So you agree with that?
Yeah. Fair.
See what I'm saying? We're all fighting for a bailout. The question is who
What I'm
gets it?
saying is that
man.
our farmers got
love
hit
you
because
guys.
we pushed a lot of shit
Because we went
overseas.
to a trade war.
Because we pushed shit overseas.
we shut down
The one
restaurants.
the one thing that Trump that I will agree with, as much as I disagree with the government handling people's problems, was he took that money that was lost from them and put it back to them. So it's not like necessarily he took more or raised taxes to bail out the farmers. He took that money that should have been going to them anyway and gave it back to them. Not in defense of him, because I think Trump is literally one of the worst
he just
when
straight
it comes to
our-
spending.
But, okay,
that's where he lost me.
Okay,
was his outrageous spending.
So this is something I always bring up.
Not his unkind rhetoric on Twitter.
Something that I always bring up, and it ties up
pussies.
It ties everything. It ties up your AOC list. It ties up your
The left
your
is
Newsmax.
Mao. Yes.
It ties up your Newsmax. It ties up everything. As a country, we can't decide what our tax dollars should actually go to, but we spend more time fighting about the political satire and the issues or social issues that cover those things, as opposed to getting into the real issue, which is where does our money go? But people want to fight about everything else, and this is why
I'm ready to talk
and
about
this is
that,
why,
'cause that's
as,
all I
as
care
we
about.
fight, they will bail out whoever they want. Whoever's in power will bail out their friends
but
every
you're
time.
You're missing what I'm saying.
not missing what you're saying.
Yes, Gene. No. They will continue to just bail out whoever if we, the people, keep electing them who bail out whomever.
Okay, the chances.
The moment that the American people go, hey, wait a minute. You've taken X amount of dollars from me for the past 10 years. I still run over this same fucking pothole every goddamn day.
And they won't be able
What
to.
are you doing?
And they won't be able to do that.
Y'all on the Hill just gave yourselves raises and took an early vacation before Thanksgiving. Yet I gotta worry about this fucking pothole every goddamn day.
Call Pizza Hut.
Give me my money back. Yeah, and I'll call Domino's to fix this shit. Here you go, Domino's driver. Bring some asphalt, because this pothole, you can even stamp it. You know what I mean? Like, I love that.
He sounds like Cardi B. He's mad about his taxes.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, except Cardi B doesn't understand what she just pushed millions of people to elect. You just raised your taxes, Cardi B, and didn't fix those potholes.
150
Taxes were going up.
What you just did was you gave everyone on the Hill a raise.
150 million people voted for
nobody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like, I hear what you're saying, but like, I don't see a win in this game. Until
those 150 start voting and the way you want.
No, exactly. Like, first of all,
it's a lot of people.
Listen,
actually, it's more than 150.
Jo Jorgensen does have one thing. Like, she wants to abolish the IRS,
it's like
right?
200 million.
Yeah.
And I love that about her. Like, that's my number one thing I like about her. She wants to abolish the IRS.
Or not even abolish. She wants to audit the IRS. Because the IRS has been ripping us the fuck off for years. They owe the American people
transparency,
trillions of dollars.
Yeah,
mark your letter there. This is the wrong one.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Trillions was the right one.
Trillions. Oh yeah, trillions.
So like, but realistically, the American people, no matter what they say, they want to buck the system, but they also want the status quo. And that's always going to be the issue with America. America wants just enough change to feel comfortable about change, but at the same time, they want enough normalcy to go about their lives. And this is what,
and that's the
isn't that why there are riots right now? Because it's unfortunately just enough change to calm everyone down.
No, there are riots right now because mommy and daddy left for the weekend. That's what's happening. And the kids are fucking bugging out.
That the reason why we have
they got
riots,
into daddy's gun chest.
The reason
and they're shooting shit in the backyard.
There's riots because people have a false equivalency. Like, some people equate like that with actual change, or things will be better. Like, you can't hold the government hostage by making riots. Like, nothing. Like, it's like, and please don't take this out of context. Don't take this out
with that though.
Don't take this out of context. But like, it's like protesting. You know.
Oh, here we go.
Outside of the '60s and Martin Luther King, I don't view protesting as the most effective strategy, even though it is the go-to strategy every time something goes wrong. Boycotts, believe it or not, are more effective.
I agree.
Than protests.
I'm all for
saying
boycotts.
You're getting none of my fucking money ever again. Will wake you up
best form of
faster than
protest,
me
I think.
getting 1,000 people in front of your building going.
Right.
You know, like.
Right. Because this is the irony, and I say this with love, okay? But for all the progressive millennials out there, like, that are so against corporations with your signs and you're standing in there, where'd you get that shit? You went to Walmart or you went to Staples, you bought them out of poster board, you bought all their markers out, you went to a big box store of Home Depot, you bought some fucking posts. Like, that's you're doing.
What did they post it on?
You're feeding.
Where'd they post the actual date and time of the
Facebook, probably.
But how'd they get on
social
Facebook?
media?
Right. That's what I mean.
No,
like,
right.
it's you're feeding the corporate machine with your protests
as you're fighting it.
You know, like, it's just the irony.
Think about it. The more protests, the more logons that Facebook will have, the more paper that'll get sold.
But the issue is
lumber.
Yeah, but the issue is there's no way.
Lumber.
But this is why they're rioting, because what happens is there's no way to
We had
speak.
a shortage of lumber.
Yeah, you remember you said that? Yeah.
We did.
You remember saying this last time? Yeah, but there's
it's a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
You can't speak out because the corporate machine is entrenched in too much of our society.
Right.
So this is why people riot, because there's no way to actually fight the big machine, because you have to disconnect.
There is
and people
a way.
cannot
Right.
disconnect.
There
they
is a way.
cannot do it. They cannot do it. Yo, people
Right now, all you're doing
it.
is fighting within the system. You're not fighting the
not
system.
even.
You're fighting
Not even.
within it.
We did video games. We're on board 4, fighting a bunch of stupid bastards, and like guys are like board 10. Like they'll never make it up here. Like they know. We're gonna die every time and start
Yeah.
over. That's it. We'll never get to the top floor because bro. It's a beautiful system.
We need a stronger freedom movement. You know, like we need a stronger.
You know why there's not a stronger freedom movement? I'm going to tell you why. Because
the progressives own education.
No, it's not about progressive. You get caught up in this progressive.
No, but that's what it
and
is.
Conservative. It's not about that.
It's about a progressive agenda, Gene.
Negative.
Speak it out. What is it?
It is about the comfort level of the average American.
I actually agree with that.
If you look at our history, whenever people are truly uncomfortable, they make change. The American Revolution was like, yo, F that. No, fuck your tea. Don't want fucking tea. So,
You're comfortable Americans right now that go to their job and, the
That's
ones that
everyone.
you're talking about are losing control of their kids, of their college-age kids
No, but
right now. Why? Because the progressive agenda...
You and this progressive agenda. Because I'm going to tell you something. Conservative people are losing their children too. I see it all the
Yes.
time. All the time. And the reason why it's happening, it's not really about the agenda. It's a lack of communication because there's a big... Okay.
Do you think the moms and dads that you're talking about in suburban America...
Yes.
Right? You think they want their kids, or do you think they want to give up their jobs... that they hold, that they pay for their kids' college education?
I'm following you.
You think they want to give up their jobs to control of the government?
To take control of the government?
No. For the government to take over their jobs. They don't want that.
No.
But that's what their kids want. That's what their kids are being taught right now.
I know, but I understand
Their kids are being taught that Uncle Sam cares about you and Uncle Sam will make everything better. Give him control of our lives and your life will be better.
I kind of...
That's the progressive agenda.
I kind of agree with you, but I think that it's that is 1/3 of the issue. Like I give you an example. Like I was reading something the other day. It's like a mechanical arm fry basket.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, it's over. It's fucking over.
Yeah.
You're like, it's fucking over. Like all you need is one that flips pancakes, and you can just follow the rabbit hole. So like when we're talking about big government, it's big government is being bought and paid for. We sit there like it's the president or the congressman that are the biggest villains. They're board 8. The top of the guys, the top of the food chain is the people who pay those people. And not American people who pay their salaries. I'm talking about the special interest groups. I'm talking about the big tech groups. Those guys are the ones really running the show. And I'm not a conspiracy guy, but you just got to really think about it because I understand what you're saying about the redistribution of our tax dollars. I get that. And to me, that's not the crisis because you're right. The progressive kids want the government to take, but the progressive kids are the same ones that's going to lose all their jobs. Google the other day said they're not going to be looking for people with degrees anymore. They're going to do a 6-month class and you can get a certificate. It's already happening. So they're about to get a rude awakening too. Like the same way the guy who flips a burger is not important anymore, your 4-year degree is trash.
Well, of course. I mean, it's always been trash. It's just a piece of paper. Nothing is better than experience.
And guess what's going to happen? So the rise up that you want is going to happen right there. When they sit there in fucking $100,000 of debt with a piece of paper that has 0 value, they're gonna flip the fuck.
I mean,
out.
I kind of like. I like that Google is doing this because what it's doing is it's allowing them to hire a more diverse, thoughted. You know what I'm saying? A group of people.
That's because you believe everybody that goes to university has one streamlined thinking.
90% of the kids coming out. But this is real. Okay,
I don't think it's as bad as you think.
It's pretty bad. Okay, when there is a majority,
I don't think it's 90%.
When there's a majority of major universities that will not allow a conservative speaker to speak, you're censoring speech. You're not allowing these kids to hear an alternative viewpoint than what you're teaching them.
It's possible. I agree with that. I can see that happening.
It's already been proven that the progressive left dominates in the social sciences.
They don't even let comedians in there anymore. Comedians don't even
Right.
go in there anymore.
Gene, like I'm saying this because like I keep an eye on this. I have cousins that are in college right now. I ask them, you know what I mean? And like all around the country, not just like, you know, my 2 and SUNY schools. Like I have cousins all over the country, right? You know, I just have a big family. But like so, like that's my and I watch this shit. You know
And
what
so
I mean?
what are the
It's been happening
so
to
what-
been happening to conservative speakers for years.
So what are they doing about it?
Pre-Trump. What do you mean?
What is a conservative answer to this?
Well, what they have been doing is you have organizations like YAL, which is Young Americans for Liberty, and you have a few conservative groups that are starting to come out because this new wave of college students grew up through high school looking at this ridiculousness on the progressive left, and they're like,
I think.
no, what? Why are you fucking going to do that? Shut up. You know what I mean?
I think
so.
that-
I don't know. Maybe there's a balance. Maybe it's a cyclic cycle. But I will say that a majority of what is taught in universities is a progressive end.
Listen, I've told you a million times. When you think of Republican, what did I used to always tell you? You think of an old white man.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think of conservative, you don't. The problem with conservative values for young folks is that they do not embrace social change. I don't think fiscally conservatives make sense. I think most people, if you sit there and explain to them about the government taxes, they'll understand it. But to them, their choice is my social freedoms and liberties and the things that matter to me on a social level matter more to me than the financial. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Like, the money thing that's happening is always going to be underneath the social stuff. If conservatives want to win the game, if they want to win the game, they have to start embracing some social issues, whether they like it or not. That is the end sum game. If they don't want to play that game, they're always going to lose, and that's how the progressive win. Because the progressive, like you said, let's pretend that the progressives are communists. And the whole idea is to take everything. How will they do that? They will do it by having people want them to do it. How will people want them to do it? By listening to the shit that they're talking about.
By teaching it in schools, yes.
That too. But as long as conservatives don't care about, you know, people's so-called rights or things that matter to them the most, they're just going to alienate them. And, you know, they have that little hard line where fuck that and da-da and libtards. That stuff is cool. But guess what? It brought out a record amount of people to vote this time. And this is what, listen, in every game, you have to give up something. You can't just come in and say, this is what I believe in, this is what I believe in, Bob. That's not how the world works. There has to be some sort of compromise. And until the conservative side learns to compromise more, they will always be victim to what you call the progressive left. Because me, I'm a centrist guy.
I disagree with you there. And the reason I'm going to say this is because I think in 2024, you're going to see,
Tucker Carlson, he's running.
You're going to see a split in parties.
Which party?
Because the Joe Biden Democrats, those centrist Democrats, are not going to buy on any longer to those progressive ideals.
They've already said it.
And AOC and the squad and all those progressives have already came out and basically said, Joe, you owe us.
So, okay.
So did Black Lives Matter. But I watched something because when you said something about AOC's list, I was like, I vaguely heard about it. I thought it was bullshit. But the fact that you wanted to talk about it, I guess it was like serious, you know? So I looked at it and yeah, she literally flat out said that minorities, Latinos, young women, and young black people are the reason that Joe Biden won.
That's semi-accurate.
And that we all want these things, and any of the older Democrats that stand in our way they're not going to be in our way anymore, is essentially what she was saying.
I don't see
they have this progressive plan that is, she said it. She goes, we are the base of the Democratic Party now.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you're going to have these moderate Democrats that don't buy into this. There's going to be a split somewhere.
Okay, listen. The splits. Okay.
I'm saying you're going to tell me that
you have the center, and then you have your moderate Democrats.
Are the AOC is going to allow Bernie to get fucked again? or anything like that to ever happen again?
They won't have a choice.
You think that they're going to allow? I'm just saying.
The reason why Joe Biden
you get
had
4 years of Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't fall to
the reason why Joe Biden won is because no one on that side could do it. Joe Biden walked up in the primary stage and he only said one thing.
You can't believe that.
Bro, Joe Biden walked on the primary stage, and once again, Andrew Yang, the Hawaiian chick, I can never remember her name.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Cory Booker, all these people, diverse thing. And Joe Biden looked at both left and right, and he said, I'm the only guy up here that can beat Donald Trump. Because he understands what the older Democrats understand, that at the end of the day, there's still a large population in America that is not down for extreme change.
Right.
That's both on the Democrat and Republican side. So
you have that in Joe Biden.
You are too...
Gene, when Joe Biden is gone, who do you have? He's the last standing...
There's an older Democrat.
Moderate Democrat.
Bro, they all, listen, they all...
That you know of.
Yeah, that's what... Bro, they're all...
You know of.
They're all chameleons. When the time comes, someone will arrive. Cory Booker, I don't find him to be progressive. They'll tell him what to do.
It's always going to be someone with a lot of money that's going to change your fucking mind.
Right
It'll
now,
change my mind.
Right now, it's very simple.
$10 million changes a motherfucker's mind.
They're gonna
real fucking fast.
It's very simple. They're going to do a poll.
$10 million.
They're going to realize, is the country ready for extreme anything? If the answer is yes, they will run an extreme candidate. If the answer is no, they're going to give you another Joe Biden, another 2.0. They're going to give you what you want. That's how you sell shit. You give people what they want. They learned it with Hillary. You have to give people what the fuck they want. An old white man, maybe 2024, he could be a little bit younger though. I'm just saying. A touch younger. I'm going to go with like...
Maybe he can remember the beginning of the sentence he's
66.
talking about.
Can we go shoot for 66, guys?
I heard them say Trump's going to run again in
and then
2024.
guess what? And when he runs again, he's going to be Biden's age, and now we're going to have the same jokes all over again.
I don't know if Trump is going to be alive. If they take him off all those meds, he's going to just fucking keel over.
I told you what...
Biden's going to be like, no.
I told you what Trump's going to do. He's going to buy Newsmax, spends 4 years bashing Biden, and then he can run on that alone. That alone is... That's how you use the media. That's how you play the game.
Yeah, that's fucked up and scary.
That's fucking
That's
scary.
That's how you play the game.
That's fucked up and scary.
Shit.
Am I wrong, though?
You know what he should be doing is going around redoing everything that Obama's been doing the last 4 years,
That's what he's gonna
redistricting
do.
things.
What Trump should do is buy the Jets so that way we can get some shit happening.
Dude, if he
That's
bought,
my segue, people.
if he bought the
nice.
Jets...
That's my segue.
Okay, the way he hires people, if he bought the Jets, there'd be a neurosurgeon in charge of special teams.
Fine.
There'll be some homeless person in charge of the linebackers.
It's fine.
I can't
Is it
handle
worse?
that. I
Is it
can't
worse
handle-
than 0-9?
Good point. Adam Gase is the worst. Adam
it worse?
Adam Gase for Congress. I said it. Adam Gase for Congress.
I don't think I heard.
I heard Adam Gase is on Biden's short list.
Adam Gase for Congress, because you know why? We need to blow it all up. That's
Yeah.
it. We need to start over.
Cuomo's going to be his AG.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
What do you mean? He's got. You mean Cuomo's bestseller? How I dealt with COVID?
Oh, man. You know what that reminds me of? When the Eagles guy won the Super Bowl.
It should be one page to say piss everyone off.
Yeah.
Except for a few
Actually,
people.
he just won an
It should
award.
just say I didn't.
So what?
He just won an award. No, he won an award.
Yeah.
What was the award?
Basically for handling COVID the best.
Just shows you how brainwashed people are. Trump won. Trump was nominated for 3
Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize too. So
that's
okay,
that's
cool.
a great point.
That's a good comeback. Oh, he won an award. So did Donald Trump.
Yeah, great point. Great point.
So,
Yeah.
oh, speaking of football, you said there
go.
was some additions to the Rooney Rule.
All right, to start, Rooney, first of all, I want to give another shout out to Mike Tomlin. Again, 10-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't want to hear shit no more ever again.
I love Tomlin.
Because,
Go on.
bro, they gave him a lot of shit. First of all, what's his name? Antonio Brown definitely has, you said it, right? From that hit from Vontaze Burfict, he's definitely has some sort of mental situation
Something
going on. And then Bell,
Antonio Brown. I didn't see it.
Oh, it was back.
No, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It was a big
After
hit.
that is when he kind of went a little.
But my point is that, think about this. He had Bell and Brown, and he made the best of them. And you haven't heard about those guys all year. And now, guess what? He's 10-0 with just Big Ben. So I went through that. But let's talk about the Rooney Rule. So this is...
Okay.
The Rooney Rule is amazing, and I'm going to tell you why it's great and it sucks.
Explain the Rooney Rule.
Okay, so the Rooney Rule is basically the answer to the first level of the answer to the minority candidate issue. So the thought process is this: the NFL is over 70% African American, but it is not represented at the coaching
After
level.
games, yeah. After
or
football
at
players.
the general manager level. So the idea was,
Probably
how
like
do we
4%.
get more black folks to become coaches?
Right.
This is why I root for guys like Macdonald. So now, the Rooney Rule states that you have to interview
right? Yeah.
at least X amount of minority candidates every time a job is opening, right? But what the Rooney Rule doesn't do...
I hate that. Good.
I know you would hate that, but here's the problem with the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule is just a checklist because Jerry Jones interviewed Marvin Lewis for the Cowboy job. And
He was never going to give it to
He
him.
was never going to give it to him. And then he gave it to Mike McCarthy. They basically had a sleepover. Literally. He slept over at Jerry's house. He got the job the next day.
Right.
And we see the disbunkle that is the Cowboys franchise. Debacle, yeah. I'm just like, this is just disgusting. So my point is, what started out with good intention does not understand the power structure. At the end of the day, the owners
about affirmative action.
The owners who own these buildings will always do the bare minimum. It's hard to incentivize giving a fuck. And
of course.
Those rich billionaires are not, there's no reason to give a fuck about black coaches. However, I will say one thing.
Hate this.
Hold on, but I will say one thing. Because it's the only thing I will say, and I'll let you speak. The only thing I would say about it is that the one thing black coaches can do better, and I will make it clear, there's two things they need to do better. The first thing is the lower ranked coaches, that means like your special teams guy, blah, blah. You need to go and work for successful people. Because what happens is people cherry pick from winning programs.
Right.
Bill Belichick's ball boy will be employed for the rest of his life because he's part of the Patriot organization. Nick Saban's whatever will get a job because people trust the
Steve
tree.
Spagnuolo.
Yes, they
got a head coach job because of the Giants' incredible defense.
It is It's 2020. We still talk about people from the what's his name? I can't believe I'm messing this up.
Don Shula era.
Not just Don Shula. There's Don Shula. There's Bill Walsh.
Parcells.
Bill Parcells. Yeah.
Bill Parcells.
There's still
Okay, I didn't know what he was doing. I was throwing out legendary coaches.
Yeah,
I don't know, you know.
Those guys' kids are dead.
But we still talk about that tree. Because it's
oh,
you see what I'm
right.
saying?
I see what you're saying here.
Once you get
Belichick is part of the Parcells tree.
Yeah. So once you get in that tree, it increases your chance to get promoted.
Right. It's like going to Harvard Law School.
The second thing that black coaches have to do is you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses right away. And there is a stigma, and hopefully Eric Bieniemy will fix it. And I don't know if it's true or it's not, but I'm just going to show you something that's out there. It's just out there, and like we talk about it, but the reality of it, I don't know. Black coaches always tend to be on the defensive background, as in defense requires less thinking than offense. I'm not saying exactly what they're saying. I'm just giving you the feeling.
Disagree with that, but go on.
I know. No, but he'll tell you because we play.
I hate all of this.
He'll tell you because we play football. When you play football, we say offense thinks, defense reacts. Because in defense, you're trained. Someone does something, you just do the opposite. Like all their drills are based to make their body instinctively do something.
Sure.
Right.
In offense, my job is to
Manipulate you to do something.
Exactly. Like I run a route to make you open up your hip or to do this. You know, the offensive line jab steps to make the defense do this, and then we trick them. It's all like that's why if you look at football, that's the whole concept of play action.
So defenses learn how to do fake looks. I'm going to look like I'm not.
And that's what
playing man.
I mean, it's
that's what makes the greatest.
It's in the definition of their sides.
Yes.
You know,
No,
like,
I know.
The offense is
you
offensive.
offense and your defense is
defensive.
So now what's happened over time is that there's been a stigma as if almost like the offensive coaches, like the black coaches don't have that. I'm not saying
the
it's
success
true.
of white quarterbacks because it's the smartest job and the Wonderlic bullshit test.
And that is the extension. And what happens now is the black quarterbacks.
Warren Moon steps in and shits on that.
Yeah, but but guess what?
But how many white quarterbacks were in the league at that point? There weren't a lot of black quarterbacks.
And I'm gonna tell you something. And here's why it sucks, because that's why I hate when I hear the athletic quarterback. That's why I love a guy like Trevor Lawrence, because the athletic quarterback usually means a Lamar Jackson, a Cam Newton, someone like, for example, Cam Newton, and I love Cam.
I don't know.
I love Cam.
I'm rolling my eyes because,
I know.
Josh Allen is considered a athletic quarterback.
I love Josh Allen.
Exactly. And he's a white kid.
Yeah, but he's also an outlier.
So it's just...
Your boy fucking runs like a cheetah.
Who?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is another one. He's not a
Motherfucker
pocket
runs.
quarterback. He's an athletic, mobile quarterback.
I know,
Gotta figure out how to deal with it.
Have you ever heard
It's the evolution of the quarterback.
I agree,
This is
but
what I hate about this conversation right now.
I agree, but it's they don't label him as such. Daniel Jones is not labeled.
I never heard of him being a runner. I didn't know he could run until he ran. Daniel Jones.
No,
Motherfucker ran and tripped over his own feet because he was running so fast. I don't think he knew he ran that fast.
For example, the reason the Baltimore Ravens are losing right now is because the conversion from all the running to trying to make him pass is failing. It's difficult because they didn't. He's not. That's not his strength.
What's the extension of the Rooney Rule?
Okay, I'm gonna get to that too. Yeah, you're right. So the extension of the Rooney Rule is that now, if you hire a black coach, you're gonna get a 3rd round draft pick, which is fucking
From who?
No, the league. The league's gonna award you a 3rd round.
So what if everyone hires? Then that's the 4th round at that point, isn't it?
But look what they're doing. JP, look what they're doing. They're incentivizing, whether you call it.
I get it.
I don't know how do you, because I don't say anti-racism because I don't think it's a racist
You're giving
question,
people-
But you're basically saying, yo, listen, I would pay you to hire a black coach.
I get that.
So now the question is,
Now
the only
everyone
guy I can see-
hires one.
The only guy I can see who giving a fuck about that would be Bill Belichick, but he's not an owner because he loves draft picks. But I'm willing to tell you right now, that's not enough. I don't see Jerry Jones going.
But my point is this,
3rd round
Gene.
pick.
What if every single team does it?
It won't happen.
Then it's the 4th round. They all get a 3rd round pick, don't
know,
they?
but- okay.
Where does that 3rd round fit in?
No, but
They get a 3rd round
they
pick.
get an extra pick. They get an extra 3rd round pick.
But where in the round? At the end of the round?
No, they get an extra 3rd round. They get 2/3.
You're missing his
next
point.
next to each other?
You have to take it away from someone.
No, they're just getting.
Yes.
They're gonna add.
No.
So you're adding picks to the 3rd round. So essentially you're extending the 3rd round.
They're not getting their last pick. They're getting a 2nd, 3rd pick.
So they're gonna get they're gonna get
No 18th round. They get a 2nd, 3rd. Why are you guys confused?
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense. If
It does make sense.
Where is
stupid.
the free pick? Is the free pick next to the pick that you had?
You get 2 3rd round picks.
Right. Okay, so
Where
if you're
is
the
the next-
4th
Doesn't
pick,
matter.
if you're the 4th pick in the
does.
3rd round, do you get the 5th pick in the 3rd
No,
round?
you just get
You get
another
the
3rd round
33rd
pick.
pick.
You get the 33rd pick, which we're making up now?
Yeah, but that's still good.
Which is the beginning of the 4th round anyway. It
Right.
doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because whether you look at
Now,
it,
if every team does it, which it's a simple thing to do.
No, it's
if
not.
every team does it,
every team cannot get a black coach tomorrow.
every team does it.
Is
Point
there
being
enough
is this.
black coaches out there? Or are we going to start picking people off like the blind side? Like, hey,
talking about-
you're my new special teams
Right,
coach.
I need a third round pick.
round.
Okay.
And then what happens? They add all 32 picks
Okay.
at the end of the 3rd round. It becomes the fourth round. It's
I know,
fucking
but
stupid.
It's not going to happen, but here's
It can.
Here's what I have to say. And I know Jesse has a lot to say about this.
I don't have a lot to say.
Okay.
It's the stupidest thing
I
I've
think
ever heard.
You can incentivize in a better
I
way.
think- I know-
Raise their cap up a million.
There's
something.
no way to incentivize a better way.
Absolutely, there
No
is.
matter what they do, they're always going to struggle with this because at the end of the day, if you are a successful billionaire, right? And you built your billions, I don't care how you did it. You're a successful billionaire, and now you are running a billion franchise, which is a football team. You are allowed to your opinion and your bias. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Giving people an extra pick that they can't
Can I
pay.
jump in
If I
now,
open a
please?
restaurant tomorrow, if I open a restaurant tomorrow, we all work for the same people. I would not hire
dumb.
certain people because we.
Right. Who would you hire?
What do you mean?
Who would you hire? If you opened up a restaurant tomorrow, who would you hire?
As a what?
Who would be your head bartender?
Right now, out of everyone in Long Island,
Yeah. Who would you hire?
I mean, I guess I'd have to say what, Lori Generino? Is that?
Why would you hire Lori as your head bartender?
She's the fastest bartender.
Because she's the best one for the fucking position.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Is that any successful billionaire is going to interview people and hire the person that they deem the best for the position. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. And it shouldn't have anything to do with the color
I
of your
understand
skin.
what you're saying, though.
And
So
for anyone
how-
to sit here and implement and force private owners or give them an incentive of, okay, listen, we want to save face in society.
It's really not the owners that are doing the work. They're just paying the bills.
I know,
it's the GM who picks the people.
I know, but
Sure, well, whatever it is. I'm just saying, like,
I listen.
It's just ridiculous.
You're right,
to me.
but there are issues. There are issues.
Why?
Adam Gase is 0-9. Todd Bowles got fired. They got ran out of town. Like someone has to explain that to me. Like Matt Patricia with his fucking pencil is in Detroit with one of the Matthew Stafford will have an argument for the Hall of Fame when his career's over based on statistics alone.
Right.
He's never gonna sniff the playoffs.
No, he's
if
not.
fucking Pencil Boy
he got a shitty-
is his coach.
Okay.
The guy before him, I don't know if you remember him, it was like the mild-mannered black guy. I'm sorry, I don't know.
But what does that matter? What does that have to do with your white or a black coach?
What I'm saying is...
That's just a shitty coach.
What I'm saying is, on the surface, there are a lot of shitty white coach candidates that are given a chance.
This is what. Okay,
that's my issue. You said,
but okay,
it's not like someone picked a black person over Bill Parcells. It's not like a black person. They're like, no, I don't want Bill Belichick. I want a black guy for the third. Right?
How many black guys applied for that job?
Eric Bieniemy is
denied,
and he's going to be one of the most wanted coaches in the league.
Eric Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. He is also in charge of play calling. That's a big distinction because you can have the job without calling the plays. So he is Andy Reid 1, Pat Mahomes 2, but you have to assume that he gets some credit for the success of that offense.
Of course.
He has not even gotten an interview.
Is his contract up?
It doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
That's not how it works. Because he's a coordinator. Josh McDaniels.
Is his contract up? Does he want to leave?
Bro, of course he wants. He wants a job. Josh McDaniels from the Patriots.
This is what I'm saying.
I know, but
this
Josh
is what
McDaniels,
drives me. No, because it's
you
so
don't know
stupid.
That, though.
It's
you
so
don't know.
yeah.
Did
You
he
don't
say,
know his thing.
I want to get a
this is
job.
what I'm saying. This is what drives me fucking insane with this stuff. With affirmative action, with all these things, it's like you're taking a tiny little piece when really it comes down to population density. Why are there more white quarterbacks? Because there's more white people playing football. Or not even. There are more black people in the NFL because 70% of the people in the NFL are just better at that position. They just happen to be this skin color. Right? So, same thing with the quarterback. Now you're starting to see a hell of a lot more black quarterbacks.
Yes.
Right?
Right. And actually the top ones
because
in the league
there's a hell of a lot more kids playing football because a lot of these programs are now, a lot of these schools are able to have football programs.
I think what it's trying to root out is this.
Inner city schools are able to have football programs now where they didn't have football programs.
I agree with
years
you, but
ago.
the quarterback position specifically has been something. The evolution of football, prior to where we are now, the last 5-10 years, there was a thought process that there's an intelligence level necessary.
Okay,
Yeah, when we celebrate the
who are the 3 top quarterbacks right now in the NFL?
It's now.
That's now. I'm talking
Russell
about
Wilson, Pat Mahomes, half black, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if you want,
half Asian.
If you want, we can keep
Rodgers.
going down the list here. Aaron Rodgers is up there, okay, the white guy, and then you can throw in Lamar Jackson.
Not really. He's having a shitty year.
Okay, but even still,
I get your
you know
point.
what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
but
so it's
Jesse.
we're going to give you a 3rd round pick if you hire a black coach.
But Jesse,
like
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want you to do one thing though. I want you to say to yourself, "This is the issue. How do we solve it?"
You have to root out the systemicness of it. It's a system. It's a bunch of white guys who hung out with white guys hiring their white friends.
So what the NFL is saying?
I understand
what the
objective
is saying is. Like, listen. What would make these guys do it? Because
break that stereotype and realize that it doesn't fucking matter what the color of your skin is. You can do anything.
Listen, you know what? Okay.
This is America. You can do anything.
It's changing though,
Jesse,
Gene.
Listen,
it's slowly
I don't care.
changing.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to this whole. There's systemic racism everywhere, even embedded in the NFL. Bullshit.
It's not okay. It's not systemic racism. It's an ingrained bias.
It's just a system. I didn't say systemic racism.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's a bullshit
it's not
thing
about-
because you're looking at it
it's not a
as
system. I
there's
think that-
only X amount of black coaches in the NFL, which again, now I ask you, how many out of all the people that applied for those coaching positions were black
Bro,
people? How many? What's the percentage?
But how many got hired because they're friends
I know, but-
with the
but-
guy with
but
the coach?
listen,
I'm saying
Bro,
how many people didn't get hired because they just weren't qualified enough?
I get what
how
you-
many people
okay.
were hired because it was a friendly thing.
I get what you're saying. Yes, that's my point. And this is why the first thing I said is you should find yourself on a tree of connected people that do well. Because
The way I look at it is this.
Go ahead.
The same reason.
Kansas
hold
City's
on.
offensive coordinator
Will
Yes.
be the coach of the
will
Jets.
be a coach,
Of the Jets.
will be a head coach. Will
right.
he be successful? Who knows? Maybe he's just good as. Again, I don't mean to
agree.
cut you off.
I
Because
agree.
I've been trying to get this part out for a minute.
Maybe he's just good at one thing.
Steve Spagnuolo was a great defensive coordinator. He became the head coach of the Rams, and they sucked
Yes.
for years.
Yes.
He went back to being a defensive coordinator and crushed it again.
Josh McDaniels, another one. But
Some
whatever.
people just aren't good as head coaches. I'm not saying that.
It's not Jesse, I understand your point. What I'm trying to make you see is that there is an issue.
It's also
The
politicized.
issue is you have 70% of players that don't see themselves reflected in management.
Jesse, why didn't we get on?
Jesse.
Why didn't we get on reggae? Like some of those reggae festivals.
Because you guys, I remember when you guys told me white boy reggae.
What was
one
the
time.
problem?
One time he told me such. I'm like,
Hold on,
rapped.
no. What was
Yeah.
the problem?
I was a rapper.
No.
Yes.
Oh, it was okay, but what was the problem?
You guys were white
What
reggae
is that?
artists.
It's the politicized.
We're not roots enough. We didn't fit.
It was politics.
Yes, because
There
we
were
weren't.
bands that had hip hop in it. There were bands that were doing
Right.
that weren't
At the
doing
end
as
of the
much
day,
as us.
we
It
were
was
not the
politics.
best for the job. There was somebody above us.
that's
But that's not the
that's-
sentiment you
better
had
for the
before.
job.
That's not the sentiment you had before.
Yeah, that's not
Before
how
it
it
was
felt
we
before.
did everything right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we
Yeah.
didn't get in.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
changing it
No,
up.
of course. But,
Same thing.
okay, fair
Same
point.
thing.
Bro,
Same thing.
I remember JP came to
listen,
me.
you may be right. It might not be a systemic racism thing. It might just be I know this guy who knows this guy who knows this guy, and they're all fucking white, and maybe that guy's shitty and didn't get in.
Like, all right, just to bring it back to the band, do I get
But why
upset?
did Adam Gase get a job?
Do I get upset when Bumpin'
Yeah, why
Uglies
did Adam
gets
Gase get a
things
job?
over us? No.
Why did Adam
Because
Gase-
they're better for the job than we were.
Maybe.
You know, why did Adam Gase get the job? He interviewed better than the guy before him.
Was it that?
That's why.
Was it that, or was it because of Peyton Manning?
Maybe it's because of the influence as well.
I know, but okay, Jesse.
We got 9,000 other
Jesse,
coaches.
I hear what you're
Little
saying.
league
I hear
coaches.
what you're saying loud and clear. I just want you to hear the other side and why they're frustrated. I'm not making the fake cause and effect that they do.
I'm asking
what
you
I'm
a
trying to tell you is
question.
Tony Dungy was the head coach of the Colts. He got fired prematurely. John Gruden flies in there and plays his ex-team in the Super Bowl, and now
Bucks.
Bucks, sorry, what did I say?
Colts.
Yeah, the Bucks. And now that made John Gruden a legend
Right, because he went in there.
and won with somebody else's team.
Right.
And the only reason why he wins that Super Bowl is because he knew the audibles from fucking
Right.
Rich Gannon. So,
Yeah.
so God bless Tony Dungy. He got a chance to redeem himself. He went to the Colts and showed that he could really do it.
Right.
Lovie Smith went to a Super Bowl as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He's coaching college.
I mean,
not a
listen,
good coach.
but he was coaching.
He made it to a
He
Super
had
Bowl.
a great squad.
I don't give a
And
shit.
then-
That's what every.
Yeah, but you can't-
You can say that about every coach. Other than Bill
No,
Belichick.
you can't. Exact. Okay.
The clown that's in the clown that's in the Cowboys right now had Aaron Rodgers. Let's stop pretending that Mike McCarthy's good. Like, I'm so over that. Like, Mike McCarthy sucks.
It's the politics of things. The same
Exactly,
reason why,
it's a
the
politics.
same
Let me ask you
reason
this.
why
Let me ask you
Sanchez,
this.
after a butt fumble, became a fucking backup for how many teams?
How many head coaches are black in college?
More.
How many?
I don't know.
I don't need an exact number, but you're saying
Because I could tell Herman Edwards is a coach there. Lovie Smith's a coach there. There was a guy in the MAC-10. They're there.
Okay.
The coach of Florida State.
how
is
many
black.
of them are crushing?
Well, they obviously Herman Edwards was doing good. They're doing decent.
All right, this is my point: is that when you crush on that JV level, which is college,
Okay,
right?
You should get elevated.
You get elevated to the
But
NFL.
what about-
And if you don't crush on the NFL, you go back down to JV.
Okay, that's
You
fair.
know what I mean?
And what about the coordinators?
What about him?
How many black coordinators in the NFL are doing great and you think deserve a job, or do you think because there's no mid-step?
I mean,
that's the problem.
This is a hard one for me because I don't fucking know who coaches are or coordinators
I get it, but
like
for example,
I know that Kansas City's offensive coordinator is a black guy.
Yes, Eric Bieniemy. He's also ex-running back in the league.
Oh yes, okay.
So
Bieniemy was a running back.
Yeah,
which is why
right.
he should.
He was also.
He should get a phone call.
He was
automatically.
Tomlinson's running back coach.
This is now the third season in a row, right?
Yes.
That they're crushing as
Yes.
an offense.
Yes.
I could 100% see him getting a head coaching offer at the end of this season.
Hear me out for 1 second. Here's the problem now, because now there's
I
going to
already
be.
know what the problem is.
And now the Jets are
I
going to
know
get
what
an
the problem
extra
is.
third round pick
here-
because they took
hold on.
someone who's the most qualified for the job. That's what's crazy to me.
Here's where the hypocrisy is going to come in of what you're saying.
Go ahead.
You just said Mike McCarthy looked good because of a certain
Aaron
person.
Rodgers, yes.
Why isn't Bieniemy looking good because of he's quarterback coach of Tomlinson,
Okay. Here's
one of the greatest running backs of all time.
And
now he's got what's probably going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time with the greatest tight end, one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
And he's standing next to arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time. So he's just qualified for a head coaching job at this point.
Which is why I'm telling you, I want Eric Bieniemy. And what do I always say?
I want him in the Jets.
And Trevor Lawrence. I don't want one without the other.
Okay.
Because and here's where you are right. The one thing people don't understand about football is that the same way in football there's situational football, in management it's the same thing, there's situation management. Some personalities or intelligence levels fit certain teams.
Right.
Herm Edwards made one mistake wrong. Herm Edwards should have hired a top-notch offensive coordinator.
Right,
He's not
right.
he's not a timeout X's and O's guy.
Right.
He is the best
we saw
motivator I've
against
seen
the
in a
Ravens.
long time.
Sure.
So
was at that game.
So had he had a stout offensive guy,
Someone to play call.
he'd be he'd
still be
there.
around.
Rex Ryan needed someone to just kind of like Trump, like he needed a shut the fuck up guy, and there was no one there to be like shut the fuck up, and like
We can call him the Trump of coaches.
like if he had the shut the fuck up guy, he'd still be coaching to this day. Like I think the Jet fans owe him an apology. Like we went far with
I don't know shit for
always
someone I
liked
didn't
Rex.
want fired.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like Trump too. I love that
No,
Rex
you-
Ryan used to talk shit,
Yeah,
man.
you-
That's the
no,
best.
I'm
Listen,
not apologizing for something I didn't want to happen.
No, you could talk shit, but you gotta deliver. He put so much pressure on him to deliver.
He delivered the first 2 years.
AFC championships. Never made
Listen,
the Super
I
Bowl.
understand the sentiment.
All right.
I mean, listen,
Fair
I
point.
can't.
Especially with Tom Brady in the division.
And this is
Yeah.
where it comes to relatability. I can't imagine what it's like watching a sport I absolutely love and not seeing anyone who can represent me past the athletic part of it. If I was just a smart black guy and I love football, but I
hate
can't
that.
play it.
Okay, ready?
You're going to tell me
hold on.
that,
Some
you're gonna tell
people
me
just
that
wanna sing.
there are players in the NFL that are looking up to their coaches.
Okay,
Come on, man.
Are you ready? Okay,
Come on.
okay, ready?
Not players.
Okay,
Just people who
Jesse,
love the game.
Come on.
Jesse,
no
give me-
one's looking at a coach like, "Ooh, I can't
Jesse,
wait to
ready?
be there one day." They want to be throwing the ball or catching the winning touchdown pass.
No,
Jesse,
we're absolutely
ready?
wrong there.
All right. I'm gonna
We're
give
You
you
know what? You're
now.
right. I am
Hold on.
wrong. And then a majority of those people that look at the coaches and say, "I want to be that," are fucking dorky white guys. That's
Okay,
it.
ready?
Why do
So
they have to
that's
be?
why
All right, listen.
I'm saying, but that's probably
Listen.
why.
Ready?
It doesn't have to be.
Ready? I'm going to give you a restaurant analogy. Since you wanted it, you got it. Okay. So, Jean Pierre is, at the time, I was just going to be into management. I was a SA. That's what they call it, service assistants. I wore shirt and tie. I walked
Yes.
around.
I worked in the same corporation you did.
Exactly.
You have them in my
Okay.
job. Go on.
So now,
We had them at Fridays.
there was a plan to make me a manager because at that point I did everything already. I was a server, blah, 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 yada yada. And just like you just said, I remember there was a waitress and she was like, "Yo, I'm so proud of you. Like, this is amazing, blah blah." Because I was one of the first black people to come from that store and get promoted. Like, no one ever saw that. Like, black managers came in, but they came from like Long Island. I was from Brooklyn, managing Brooklyn, right? So now, the director of operations, I won't throw his name out there. I fucking really want to, but I won't do it. So
I just want to know.
I want you so badly. You have no
Wasn't
idea.
Reese, right?
Like he needs a fucking forget a bus.
Oh, I know who
he
you're
needs.
talking- yeah.
He needs a fucking train. So long story short, I was supposed to meet him, and now I'm not free of sin in this situation. I had my little Brooklyn attitude about me. I don't fucking want to meet nobody. I do my job. That's it. What am I supposed to do? I crushed my numbers. Blah blah. I was entering management. Blah blah. I got in trouble because when he came in, I didn't run and shake his hand and shit like that. I didn't understand that culture part. I do my job. What the fuck I gotta go shake this fucking guy's hand for? He knows where I was. He could have came to me. Whatever. The second time this guy came in, he said, remember, we've never had a conversation yet. G needs to read more books. Now, I was fuming. Ready to flip. I would have flipped the whole fucking place over.
Because you read a lot of books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm more well read than every single one of the other managers who are all white. I read more. First of all, I went to a better school than them. I'm just whatever. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? And my thought process is you have to talk to me first before you make that distinction.
Sure.
But, and this is the difference about perseverance and persistence, I actually read more books. I said, fuck this guy. I read more books, I this, da 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 da. I was more persistent, more thing, and I made it a fucking, by the time I was a bar manager, I had every single
Award.
No, not just that, but I had every bar manager's name. Like I knew all of them. They didn't know who I was, but I knew who was in Westbury. I would write their name and I'd write their numbers, 27-1, 20. I'm like, fuck this guy, and I crushed them every fucking time. I was like, I'm gonna fucking make it personal. But my point is that guy wasn't racist towards me. He operated with a bias. His thought process was the guy grew up in Brooklyn. He's not well-rounded enough in a corporate world to know the ins and out. He needs to polish up and read more books.
That's an interesting interpretation. Let me just throw another one at you there.
Talk to me.
I agree with you there, and that's his number one flaw. But how do you know that he didn't, not saying that this was the right thing to do, but how do you know that he didn't talk to your other managers?
Possible.
And get, hey,
so
what's up with the new guy that you guys
means,
just promoted from in-store? Talk to me about him.
But that's even worse. That means they threw me under the bus.
That means that those people
Threw me under
were
the bus.
threatened by you and said, he's ignorant, he's uneducated, he talks like shit, he's late, he does that, or whatever the fuck. And this guy's like, this guy needs to read some fucking management books.
Okay, but this goes back to
I know who you're talking about, so I know that that's not.
Yeah.
I know that he probably meant it in the way that you interpreted it. I'm just throwing that other side out. You know what I mean?
But my point is, like, when you bring it back to the football, there are biases that people operate with that are stopping candidates from getting a shot. And I'm not saying you're wrong that people should get the best possible job, but people enter the conversation or thought process like for example, like he just said, Eric Bieniemy should get the next job, but should he really? Because someone could be like, that's Andy Reid and that's Pat Mahomes. Who the fuck? What makes him so good? Not to mention, and here's the.
I'm just saying, if KC goes to the game, whether they win a Super Bowl or not,
he should get a job regardless.
He should. He should at least get an interview. You know what I mean?
I'm assuming he will. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that the NFL operates in that sort of systemic way where it's we're not going to even entertain an interview because he's black.
Systemic makes it sound like
I just don't think there are
there's
enough.
a meeting and then there's an organization. I just think it's a
systemic. I don't look at it that way. I think systemic is
a preconceived bias.
It's just the way shit just happens.
It's the way shit goes.
And you got to believe that that's it. I don't believe that that's so.
I think so.
I refuse to believe that someone is as successful as Jerry Jones would just dismiss a head coach based off of the color of his skin.
Okay, Jesse.
I don't believe
Jesse, slow down.
Hold on. Don't put a past
Let me say one thing.
I'm on both sides of the fence with him.
The guy made his billions off of black people.
But this is what Jerry Jones is guilty of.
Winning.
No. He hasn't won since 1994. So,
easy with the word.
Yes, easy with the word winning.
You're right. I'm sorry. Trump ruined that.
Hold on. If you are
Charlie
if
Sheen
you are
ruined
Jerry Jones and you're if you're Jerry Jones and you're a billionaire, Do you want to like your coach, or do you just want a coach that wins?
I want a coach that wins.
That's the difference between you and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones,
Because he's the general manager.
Jason Garrett was not a winner.
He was a good coach.
No, he's not.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't a bad coach.
Guys,
You know,
whoa.
What's a $1 billion industry?
Whoa. Look at his numbers. He's 8-8. In my world, that's what I'm
saying.
He's mediocre. So that's not good. That's
He
not
wasn't a
good.
bad coach. You
He's
know,
not a good coach.
He's mediocre.
Right, and in a $1 billion
he kept
world,
the
it's not.
Cowboys on the top of
He's
that
mediocre.
division.
He's 8-8 makes you mediocre.
And
The
during that
Cowboys
time,
were in
who
the
won?
hunt every year.
And that time, who won two Super Bowls?
the Giants.
Fair enough, but
At 97.
And then let's add Philly on that.
Yes.
They also
and
won a Super
again,
Bowl.
Yes.
Jason Garrett kept that team.
What are you saying?
But
He didn't win.
competitive.
He just proved to you three championships in one division.
Do you
and
remember?
You're not it.
Do you remember the NFC East being the most competitive division? Because it was.
And he
Someone won it.
And he sucked. RG.
And one year, Jason Garrett won it. One year,
No.
the Cowboys won
I'm
it.
talking
1 year
about
Philly
I'm
won it.
not
1 year
talking
the
about.
Giants
No,
won it.
I'm
that's
talking
right.
about the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
you had
division.
3 Super Bowls in that one division. Never mind the
Oh, I see what you're
competitiveness of
saying
it.
now. Yeah.
The guy sucks.
All right, whatever.
The guy sucks.
All right.
The guy sucks. The guy sucks. Say it,
All right,
Jesse.
well, listen.
The guy sucks.
I mean, I will gladly say
he's
Jason Garrett
your OC
sucks.
now. That's why. I'm like, is that why he's struggling with this?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
Here's the thing with
he sucks as a head
here's
coach.
my issue.
He's a
like,
terrible head coach.
Okay.
Because he was a cowboy. Anyone that comes from the Cowboys or
There's
from
the-
Philadelphia
that's the better thing.
is fucking trash.
But I get-
I
listen,
hated
you know what I'm
Andy
saying?
Reid. I hated Andy Reid
No,
my
Andy Reid's
whole
amazing.
fucking life.
Andy
And
Reid's
now
amazing.
I love Andy Reid.
And you know what's so funny?
Andy Reid is arguably one of the best coaches in the NFL.
He is. He's
Bring him back to Philly. I fucking hate Andy Reid.
But all right, we're gonna move on. But you get the point. The point is, there's an issue. We need to solve it. Todd Bowles. That's why I wanted Todd Bowles to
I
win.
just whatever. If there
And
is
I'm
an
gonna tell you
issue,
this,
let's put it this way, if there's really that big of an issue, they're handling it the wrong way.
Let me just throw this question
how
out
do
to
you
you.
get a bunch of rich people to do?
Let me
the
ask
right
you this,
thing?
Gene. How do you feel about affirmative action?
I feel
As
that-
an educated black guy, do you feel like you deserve extra points just because of the color of your skin?
okay. I'll answer this question.
Isn't that catering? Isn't that race catering?
Yeah, race catering.
Shit,
I'll-
we're
I'll-
back there.
Yo,
Listen,
NFL is race catering.
Listen,
Holy shit.
I'll answer it like this. I worked in the casino, and they had these people that were coming in. They were trying to unionize on the low.
Okay.
They would meet us in the parking lots and blah, blah, blah. And the guy walked up to me. He's like, yo, this is a union. This is what you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't need it. I'm like, they probably do. I would never stand in your way, but I'm not signing it, and I don't want to talk to you about it. And he's like, why? I go, because people like me don't need unions. I'm that good. I'm that good. Like, if I am an employee somewhere, I'm probably top 5. So
Right.
I will get whatever it is that you think you could get me. I'll
get
probably
myself.
negotiate a better deal.
Boom.
Because now
My
everyone,
man, that's why we're friends, Gene.
since everyone's getting it, it devalues me getting it anyway. So
Yeah.
let me fight for myself. However, I did tell him, I get why you have to do it, because there's some people that will be out of a job unless someone like you comes and protect you. Now, ideally, the thought process should be that I want a place full of people like me and the place is going to be great. That doesn't work either. You know that's not true, because we've worked in millions of restaurants where the idea
It's
is
utopia. Competition is beautiful.
yeah,
Good.
it's good. But, you know, so when you ask me about affirmative action, that's the same way I feel. I personally don't feel like I need it. I think I can fend for myself. However, I think there are a lot of black people that, for example, the example I told you, there's 3 out of 4 black people quit Fridays and go work for Applebee's the next day. I'm fully experienced, I'm trained, and my boss is a racist. At that moment, that's what I could have thought. And then there's people like me that are like, fuck them. Because I like to make people eat their words.
Sure.
That's the only difference. That was a cockiness thing. That was
It's just, all right.
That was intelligence. That was just pure,
Brooklyn.
unadulterated.
Let's go Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. That was pure unadulterated.
what it is.
Fuck you. You will apologize one day.
Right,
I will
right.
make you apologize. But other than that, you know what I mean? Like,
All right, the reason I bring it up is because, like, all right, the way
But
that
it is-
I look at affirmative action, and I've heard, actually, my wife said this before, and I never really thought of it this way until she said it, and she's like, no, as a woman, I don't like it because
they do. Yeah.
because fuck you for thinking that I'm not as qualified as a man. That
the
I
fight they
need
fight.
help. I need extra points.
Yeah, but-
and then hold on, because
Good.
this is where it gets broken down. I'm all for affirmative action if you take race out of it.
Culture.
Let it be a geographical location because that is the root of the problem, right? So it's kids in the inner city that are poor and have a worse education than kids in the suburbs.
Fair.
It's not black kids are poor and have bad educations and are bad students. It's those who are raised in the inner city. So what affirmative action does is, sure, it helps out.
It might help
those
someone
kids.
who doesn't need help.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. So what?
Someone like you would help out. You don't need
not
the
only
help.
that. Not only, of course, it helps out. It helps out the kid who graduated the year after me, who was summa cum laude. Right, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Magna is the first.
Right, I'm out. Go.
Finished second in the class. He's a black kid, so he gets extra points if, anyway, even though he's the fucking second smartest kid in the school. But hold on, my point is, it's not even a matter of it helping kids who don't need it. It's hurting kids who need it. Because the white kid who grew up in the inner city in that poor ghetto, the Asian kid who grew up in that city, in the inner city in that poor ghetto, that Asian kid gets it worse because he gets negative points.
Yeah.
They take points
Certain
away
schools.
from them.
Certain schools.
Because he's Asian. He should be smarter.
Forgot about that.
So
I'm with you.
Put the same extension of the Rooney Rule into that, where it's now you're going to have, as you do in certain career settings, you have people sitting here looking at the other guy next to him going, are you qualified for this position or are you here because of affirmative action? So now you're going to have coaches calling plays or doing something on the sidelines where it's going to be like, are you qualified or are you here just because of the skin color? And I don't want that. That's not a world I want to live in.
Yeah, but
that's not a
Jesse,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Jesse,
can you at least understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you this. When I got promoted to general manager of Forest Hills,
You were qualified for that because you were crushing.
All right, I was qualified. I worked under Phil, and he did a great job with me. He fought for me to get that job. I was given a guy, R.I.P. We didn't get along, but R.I.P. He was my kitchen manager. He was an ex-general manager who got in trouble, and
That's the worst thing.
Yeah, he got demoted.
Yeah.
He got demoted. So he came, and they're like, "We're gonna help you out by putting this fucking guy who wants your job right next to you to help you." Good idea, guys. So this guy's my number 2 now, and he does his job, but he does it to the point where I can't attack him. Like, he didn't go above and beyond. He just did enough so he could look good, and then anything else that looked bad somehow looked like me. But the point of that story is that he always felt I only got the job because I was Phil's boy, and Phil was cool with the DO at the time, which was Mark. So I'm like, what do you want me to do? But I'll show you how I flipped it on him. He's like, So one day I told him, because I felt the vibe, I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If you believe that I got this job because I'm Phil's boy, and Phil's boys with Mark, then dumbass, jump on the train. Do your shit, and then I'll make Phil call Mark, and then you'll get a job somewhere else. And then you can get the fuck out of my face, too. Like, I fucking get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work for someone 15 years younger than me. I get it. I fucking get it. But I didn't put you in this situation. You did this shit. You had the job. You got fucking demoted. How the fuck is that my problem?
Right.
And now you're looking at me like, oh, if I had to, like, what do you want me to do? But you see my point? Like,
But I don't see your point. I'm agreeing. Like, that's how things
I don't see
should
it either,
work.
bro.
It had nothing to do with your skin color.
what I'm trying to tell you is,
Fridays did not give Phil an incentive to, hey, if you promote a black guy to GM, we'll give you. We'll give you fucking 30K extra.
What I'm trying to tell you is there will always be a thought process on the sideline that you don't deserve your job. So whether I have affirmative action to get me that job doesn't matter, because someone will always discredit you because people are not trained. Like, I can big myself up, just like you said. We had that conversation one time about when you used to bring other bands on stage. I can big myself up without putting other people down.
Sure.
But people are trained in a corporate competitive environment. It's all about knocking the next guy down. That's all they know. That's one of the reasons I got out of it. It's all about, look at this guy. He fucked up. His numbers sucked. It's not like I beat him. It's like, find the weakness, expose it.
Yeah, see, that's a part of the game that I refuse to play.
I know, but we don't win when we don't play.
That's not true. That's not true. We changed the game. I started my own game now.
Yes. Yes.
And now I got people from my past wanting in over here.
And this is why you're...
Because I always treated them right.
And this is why you're happier than ever. The reason I woke up today, I'm like, yo, I'm a fucking happy guy. I was on the way here. I'm like, I am a happy guy. And it's because corporate America has been going on for years. That, like, you... saying I don't want to play that game is like you walking into Alabama and telling Nick Saban, you know what? Nah, I don't want to stunt right. Like, what? You're a D lineman on this fucking team. You slam right. You ever talk again? As a matter of fact, you know what? Sit down for fucking 5 plays and just think about the fact that you spoke to me. Because that's what it is. You know, that's crazy. That's how it is.
Yeah,
like,
I don't feel like stunting right.
You know?
All right, well, you ended on a high note with you wake up a happy person.
Lawrence Taylor, a quick side note, Bill Parcells would call for him to drop back. And Lawrence Taylor would just say no and just sack the
about the greatest man in
I know,
his position.
But
he changed the game.
My point is, the ability to change the game is created by people who allow people to explore their talents to their fullest.
Sure.
Like Bill Parcells did not tell him no. He just was like, that's not what I called, but if it's successful, allow it to work.
Cool. You didn't do the right thing, but you made it work.
It's like, oh, no, yeah! Yeah, it's one of those. Like, you know?
Well, that also goes back to the Pete Carroll throwing for the last play, getting intercepted. If it would have worked,
okay,
where was he?
If
that play would have worked, where was he?
You love conspiracies.
Genius.
You love conspiracies. First of all, if that play would have worked, the Legion of Boom would still be here today. Because what happened is, after that loss, I think the what's the right word here? The competitive fire of that team fell apart because they were so close. It's like the Buffalo Bill thing. Like, you know, if the Buffalo Bills win that first
4 years in a row.
If the Buffalo Bills beat the Giants, they probably win 4 in a row. They got defeated, and then Cowboys smacked the shit out of them, and they just showed up every year for annual beatdown. Like, literally, that's what they did. But... But that's where we're at with it.
All right, let's go to a Rushmore ranking.
Go ahead.
In honor of T-Day, Thanksgiving, in honor of what's the word I'm looking for?
Thanksgiving?
No, I want her to be all
Pilgrims with guns?
Yeah, in honor of pilgrims killing indigenous folks.
Raping and pillaging?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Pilgrims
Even though they did it at the behest of another group of Indians.
So what you're saying,
indigenous.
What you're saying is the American settlers brought COVID-5 to the
COVID 1492.
To the American Indians and wiped out the whole population.
No, what they also did was
that's what they did.
Think about
brought smallpox.
The Thanksgiving.
Thank you for your land.
Celebration
Didn't
was
have turkey.
Well, number one, yeah, but number two, the reason why they had that dinner was a celebration of them helping another tribe massacre another tribe.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were just like, fuck them, we're gonna kill them. No, they were like, you're gonna teach us how to grow fish in this, or grow crops in this fucking sandy, shitty ass soil by putting fish and shit in there.
Let's wipe them out.
Let's do it. Yeah. I got you, you got me.
Yeah.
Show me how to grow some fucking corn.
Yeah.
The end. So in honor of that, we're not gonna go with the best Thanksgiving food because someone might be turkey. Best Thanksgiving sides.
Yep.
Top 4 Thanksgiving sides.
If cranberry sauce is in here, I'm leaving.
I'm flipping this table over.
That's trash.
All right, thank you.
Wow.
I grew up with a family that didn't eat it. And my wife's family, they actually make it. And I think the only person that eats it is their mother, though. And they still make it every year.
My wife loves it. And I go, what? The gelatin from the can? You like that?
Jesus Christ. All
She
right.
loves it.
Okay. I'm going to say stuffing if you know how to make it. Like,
Okay,
I'm
so
talking about you
correctly made stuffing.
You gotta have the right
Not
amount
boxed,
of breading.
not stovetop
Yeah,
bullshit.
it's gotta have the right amount of breading.
Like-
It's gotta
First of
have
all,
the-
stovetop is delicious still. I don't give a fuck
No.
what anyone says. But yes, I agree, a homemade stuffing.
Something, yeah,
Grandma's stuffing that has the bits of sausage in there. Ooh, forget it. It makes you fart like crazy.
I don't want sausage in my stuffing.
So you guys don't know about
crazy.
You guys don't know about collard greens with turkey neck bones in them, but
Of course, that's.
what you do?
He does.
Oh wow, that's the shit. Right
Let me tell you something. My winter garden is exploding right now, and if you want some fresh collards,
really?
Bro, I got 2 beds full of collard greens. That's how much I love collard
this
greens.
End of the world castle may be worth it. We're gonna have collard greens.
I got some bok choy right next to it too.
let's go.
We can have Asian one day, Southern
Let's
another.
go.
It's be a beautiful thing. Now you just
Yeah,
need
no,
some
I'm a
bean
big
pie.
collard green fan.
No collard greens if it's made. You need to get on the collard greens.
How do you eat collard greens? You don't eat pork.
Because they put turkey neck bones in them. I told you.
He did say turkey neck.
No, he
bones.
did, but I'm just saying.
I ain't putting that on no list. You got to go fuck
Traditional
yourselves.
collard greens got ham hock in it.
No, I never had that. I've had the one.
That's
with the
Southern
turkey.
style
Yeah,
right
it's just
there,
amazing.
Okay, I want.
But yeah, turkey. I'm down with the turkey bones. Sure.
It fucking gives it a.
all right, so we got homemade stuffing.
Of
I gotta
course.
specify
I mean,
it.
listen, mashed potatoes and gravy.
Right, the homemade
again-
mashed potato. You gotta say homemade because motherfuckers
Can
will
I
pull
tell
a
you
box of
something?
that shit.
Like,
I don't mind a box. You throw some butter and salt on there and some gravy. You don't
do
even
you
know the
put garlic
difference.
in your mash?
Hell yeah.
Sometimes.
Because you
know what I do?
I dealt with someone the other day. They're like, "There's garlic in this mashed potato." I'm like,
You know what I put in my mashed?
When does it not have?
I actually make a fucking cream. I use heavy cream, milk, garlic, and
there you
rosemary. And I let it sit, and then
Rosemary
they
mash.
strain it through, and I mash the potatoes with that cream.
And I like the red
And it
potato
becomes-
skins.
and you put butter in
But that's
there?
me. Yeah, I think you should put the red potato skins in there.
I could use red potato. Yeah, red
people-
potatoes would
people
be
are
good
like,
too.
"Oh,
in
why is
that.
this skin
I
in
like
my mash?"
those.
Like,
But I think a homemade mashed potato is way better than
I agree.
boxed.
And you got to know. how to
I
make-
grew up on boxed mashed potatoes. Eight
Oh, I
people
didn't.
eating.
I grew up on homemades, and I never had a
They're
box.
pretty close.
I never had a box mashed potato until I started dating my wife,
Oh shit.
and nor have I ever had a powdered from a packet gravy. But she had such a big family, I totally understood
Yeah,
why
that's
her
why-
mother.
That's why we did it too.
And I'll be honest,
It tastes the same sometimes.
it fucking tastes the same because her mom knows that I like, real gravy, as I used to
Yeah.
call it. So she would make the powdered gravy for me with the juices
Yeah.
and stuff. And so,
I think a combination
great.
of both is excellent.
it really is. And I've changed my tune on it.
Okay, so
I still make
we got
gravy
that.
traditionally, but
We doing cornbread? Anyone like cornbread? I have it every year.
I like
love
cornbread, but I don't think of it as Thanksgiving. I can have
it.
cornbread
I
anytime.
have it
I
every
don't think
year.
it was Thanksgiving either. But
Yeah.
actually, like a cream of corn souffle.
I was gonna say cream spinach.
I love cream
I'm down with
spinach.
cream spinach. I'll
Cream
let that
spinach
slide.
is the
I'll let
shit.
that slide because
I like cream carrots too, and we only have cream carrots on Thanksgiving.
I'll give you candied carrots.
No,
Yeah,
I don't do the candied
candy
anything.
yams.
I don't do that. I'll throw candy yams in there because I know it's traditional. I personally don't. It's too sweet for me.
You don't like
You
sweet
like
potato
just
mash
yams?
either?
I don't.
You
No,
don't like sweet potato mash?
not really. I'll eat it,
You like
but
sweet potatoes?
What the fuck? It's not that sweet, the sweet
Guys,
potatoes.
You don't like chocolate?
yeah, I'm not a
let's get
sweet
off him.
guy.
Yeah, but sweet potatoes not that sweet.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I'm
Look
all right.
at a
I'd
guy who
rather-
likes sweet shit.
Tell you something.
He's
I made
growing
steaks
bok
last
choy.
night and made a fucking huge baked potato, and I was a
Oh my
happy camper.
gosh.
All right, you know what? I think. All right, I think we'll do the mashed potatoes, do the stuffing. I guess you got to do some kind of potato.
Got to do a potato or a green bean
full-
casserole. Like there's got to be some sort of casserole in there.
Green bean
That's
casserole is good.
that's just a
That-
Thanksgiving
that's classic.
staple. I feel
That's
like.
classic.
Trying to remember what kind of casseroles.
Well, your buddy makes that broccoli casserole. That's
Bro, that
fire.
broccoli casserole was the shit.
JP does a Friendsgiving every year, and his buddy, who is it?
Frank Corey.
Corey does
Yeah,
it, right? Yeah. Buddy Corey makes this
Who, by the way, has
broccoli casserole that's
started
fucking
a
phenomenal.
hydroponic. He's urban gardening. He does.
Nice.
And he sells to companies. He's basil, shit like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, right in Patchogue, he built one. It's got like
You gotta
he's
see
got
Pops,
5
man.
racks, all hydroponic shit.
Pops' hydro garden is going crazy right now. He's got a
There you go.
7-foot tomato plant in there in his greenhouse.
All right, so you know what?
Microgreens.
Maybe you
It's
should
great.
say casserole. A good
A
casserole.
good sort of vegetable casserole.
A vegetable
I'm fine
casserole.
with that.
I like
green
green bean
bean,
casseroles, fine.
cauliflower
Because-
casserole's good. Broccoli casserole's good. I love them all.
Cauliflower is. I'm
My grandmother does fried cauliflower.
Well, I do a good cauli rice.
I love
Cauli
that.
fried rice is delicious.
yeah, but I'm kind
Made
of over
right.
cauliflower.
Nah, never had it.
Yeah, it's all right. I've had it.
It's good. All right, so then you
I
got.
made a stir fry with cauliflower one time.
I
Cauliflower.
love
rice.
cauliflower.
So
yeah.
what can the
that
fourth
kills
one?
the big cancers.
I think the fourth one's got to be at least candied yams or a sweet potato
Yeah,
of some
I'll
sort.
let you guys decide that
Yeah,
one.
I think it's got to be candied yams.
So you don't like sweet potato pie?
Not really. Again,
Wow.
I'll eat it. It's just like I'm not like, ooh yeah, marshmallows on top of sweet potatoes. Let me throw it on my plate. I'll eat it if it's there, and it's like okay.
Sounds delicious to
That's
me.
what I'm
yeah, no,
saying.
it's just I'm not.
I think I might even gave you some on the plate I sent Melissa home with.
You did, and they were delicious. I ate them. No, it wasn't candied. It was just sweet potato.
No,
mashed,
no, I it was
mashed
just
sweet.
I didn't get any on the top.
Oh, it was good.
left.
It was good. You know, again, I'll eat it.
Somebody
No, I
scraped.
get it.
I'm not like an ew, gross. Get this away from me. If you look at my, all right, I'll explain to you my Thanksgiving plate. All right, it's
Okay.
a big old pile of mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay.
Some turkey.
Okay.
Whatever green bean, broccoli, something casserole is over there. Some sort of creamed vegetable, whether it's creamed carrots or creamed spinach, is on there.
And stuffing.
and stuffing right in the middle.
middle,
I
yeah.
pour gravy on it. C'est la vie.
Like the whole
and
plate.
then my next plate is usually a little bit more potatoes, some turkey, and some more stuffing.
That kind of sounds like my
And then maybe
plate.
corn, because I like corn.
I love corn.
I like to look at it
It's
the
a
next
useless
day.
vegetable, but I like it.
Look at
No, it
that.
is.
Look
Corn
at that
does-
corn. It's
Corn does absolutely nothing
Yeah,
for you.
I know.
But it's a good one.
No, yeah.
It's a good filler.
Puts something in your stomach. All right, so
homemade stuffing,
yes,
vegetable casserole.
Yes.
You pick the veggie.
homemade mashed potatoes.
Homemade mashed potatoes with gravy. You got to do the gravy.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say candied yams.
Candy yams, you're candy yams. Candy yams it is.
All right.
I like it.
This was the longest episode ever. It was Jesse thought it was gonna be the shortest
Hey, man,
episode.
guys, it's gonna be the shortest episode. I got nothing to say.
You did. Both emo.
Oh, you know why? We went in on the album.
Right.
Just stopped after that. Who cares about AOC's list? We're not on it. Fangul.
Sure, you
Yeah.
know with AOC? I'm just joking. I thought it'd be funny.
You don't know me. That was episode 15.
AOC, Jesse B.
I'm JP. We got G and Jesse here.
I'll get down with AOC.
I'm done.
With her dorky white boyfriend.
Hell yeah.
She has a
I will
white
beat
woman?
him up and lay it down hard on her. I'm just kidding.
I did not know of
Break
this.
a bed frame.
There you go.
True story. Thanks for watching. I'm JP. That's G and that's Jesse. We'll see you next time.
Stream our album.
Let us know what you think about everything.
Oh, and like and subscribe.
Subscribe and like.